you can't quite do this, you can't do that. And like, I'm not going to be censored. Like, and if you did try, I would mess it up and get fired. So
on today's episode of the Grab Matters podcast, we welcome on a very special guest, professional water skier from England, Joel Poland. We talk with Joel about growing up in England and learning to water ski, also his early days wakeboarding behind the boat and on the cable as well, how he kind of got into water skiing, trick skiing, jumping. We also talk with Joel about how he approaches, contest skiing and tournament skiing versus keeping skiing fun and kind of the camaraderie involved of water skiing. We also talk about Joel's kind of unique path of creating content on social media and why he does it and how it's kind of unique in the way he does it as well, which is pretty interesting to hear about. In this episode, we also do a giveaway of Joel Poland's Pro Model Trick Ski, so make sure to stay tuned for that. That giveaway will be held on the Patreon, so if you're interested in supporting the podcast and participating in some of these giveaways, joining the Patreon is the best way to support the podcast. It really helps me out a ton. Thanks to all the Patreon subscribers. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy this episode of the Grab Matters podcast.
I approve waterboarding. They're talking about wakeboarding. The thing about wakeboarding, every trick is an invert.
Backside.
Air railies.
A new dimension.
We're back. Another episode of the Grab Matters podcast. Today we welcome on a very special guest, water skier, single tipper, Joel Poland. How's it going?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on, dude. I'm stoked for this one. This is something a little bit different because this has typically been, wakeboard industry people, but I'm stoked to sit down and talk with you. I usually start off with some early questions. Mm-hmm. First one is wake pants. Yes or no?
No.
Okay.
No. I think I just pissed off half your audience, but you're already scraping the bottom of the barrel with me, so it's fine.
I mean, you're telling me, though, if you're fully suited up, ripping through a slalom course with some wake pants on, might be worth trying. Just saying.
I've never tried it. It's just every time I've seen someone wearing pants when they're wakeboarding, I'm going like, it just doesn't seem efficient.
Efficiency isn't the name of the game there. It's all about how you look. So.
Yeah, no, see, like, I'm an efficiency nerd. Like, half the time I'm basically naked except for, like, wearing socks and stuff, but...
That's true. That's a good point because you're all about aerodynamics, speed, getting around the buoys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Or like a nice little, like, skin-tight suit I wear when I jump as well. It makes me look real good.
Yeah, it's really showing off the definition of the muscles there.
Damn straight.
Favorite grab? Because you do grab your trick ski. For the audience, you do on occasion grab.
Yeah, this might really annoy some of your audience. I don't even know the name of this one, but I like the one where you like grab between your legs on the opposite side of the board.
Both hands?
Yeah, like so you put your arm, just like one hand. So I'm like holding on and then I'll put my hand like between my two legs.
Okay.
And grab like my hillside edge.
I would call that chicken salad.
Chicken salad?
Probably if I'm picking up what you're putting down, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, like I see people do that a lot on wakeboarding at least, and I think that looks pretty cool. Big fan of that. And then every time I try on a trick ski and see it back, it looks nowhere near as cool.
Well, I've seen you try some methods too on a trick ski before.
Yeah, no, I like to grab. I've always been a big fan of grabs, especially like every now and then someone will kind of throw it in a flip. I'm not huge on it looking good in a flip, but just in general of like
a straight air.
Yeah, just like put a little bit of steez on it, or like if you can do it like around a corner when you hit a double up on a trick ski and like kind of just get a bit of height. Yeah. Doing that grab just feels nice too.
Agree with that. Yeah, never done it on a trick ski, but I agree with that. You are a slalom skier, trick skier, 3 event for those who are, familiar. I've dabbled in a little bit of slalom in my day on a wakeboard, and I want you to kind of rate. I'll put the video in for the viewers. I want you to rate, what you think of this. This one. So it's the first pinned video, top left there. Let's go ahead and give that a watch. Let me know what you think. So it's a little DIY situation for the listeners.
I like that a lot. I'm a big fan, actually.
So rate that. What's that looking like from a water skier's perspective?
All right, so like, first of all, your technique's really good. Like, you're doing a good job of using your hips to kind of direct yourself.
Okay.
Let me watch this one more time.
Yeah. Use my hips. I love that.
It's all in the
This is around parking cones in the streets behind a winch for the listeners.
No, honestly, the thing I'm taking away the most from that is you are clearly a good dancer because those hips are moving right there. So.
Okay, yeah. I like this pod so far. Sweet. Yeah, so for the viewers, I'll put that video in, but that was me just kind of absolutely getting after it in the streets.
Do you have any videos of you dancing? Can you drop one of them in?
If I can find one, I think I probably do. Yeah. I think I probably do. I'll dig through the archives.
Drop one of them in too.
Yeah, I'll drop one in. Yeah, okay. So that way they can get a side-by-side of what was really going on there. Okay. So, moving on to the early days, Joel Poland. Run the people through where you grew up, where you're from, how you got into water skiing, all that stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in England, lived like inside London, but there's a ski and wakeboard park just outside called Thorpe Park, which if any of you know Joey Battleday, his dad John Battleday, he was my coach. And yeah, like to start off, my dad was a barefooter, and we used to be like at a barefoot club, and eventually I was kind of like getting into skiing a little bit. So my dad found this coach John, who had coached a few really good skiers in the past, and yeah, like sent me out to him. Seemed to be working, and yeah, eventually ended up coming out to America to ski with my coach now, which is where I ski all the time, Matt Reaney. And yeah, like my childhood was basically ski through the winter in England and come out to America as much as I possibly could in the winter, and then, you know, obviously ski through the summers too. But
so, did you ride the cable at all? I mean, so I guess what's the water skiing look like for you? Is it mainly slalom, mainly trick, jump? Like, what's like getting into it? What's it look like?
So I had like a shit ton of energy as a kid, like that annoying energy. You know that kid where you just like, go away, leave me alone. I was that kid. So I would ski like 3 or 4 sets pretty much every day, and then like in between my sets, I'd go out on the cable and ride a trick ski, ride a wakeboard, ride a pair of skis, try hit a kicker on a pair of skis. Like I was just always going and full speed 24/7. Now a little less. Like now it's a bit like I'm still skiing like 5 days a week probably, but I'm only doing like the 3 sets a day, and I kind of stopped doing the cable a while ago.
Okay, interesting. So Thorpe Parks, is that related to like the theme park at all, or is that not?
Yeah, it's like round the back of Thorpe Park. So now it's called JB Ski. Or no, now it's called Thorpe Lakes. When I was there, it was called JB Ski after John Battleday. He was the main coach. He was like kind of one of the main guys around. Not when it was founded. I think he kind of like came in a little bit later. I don't really know the whole deal, but yeah, like it was named after him for a really long time. He's still there. Like when I go back home, like I was home in January, and I went out to the lake and I skied, and it was like really cold, but it was good. Like still get to go see him, and he's always got something good to say too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Does it freeze over there? Or is that you can ski year round?
Yeah, like it doesn't ever freeze over enough that you can't ski. It's like I remember when I was a kid coming down, and there was like a little layer of ice, and I'm going like, oh, please don't make me ski today. And they just drive the boat up and down a few times until it all breaks, and then you just go ski.
I love that, dude. You're getting after it.
Yeah, but it was only a thin layer, like less than an inch. If it was ever like, I remember once it was thick enough that we threw a rock and it didn't break, and my coach was like, yeah, we should probably not ski today.
Kind of fuck the boat up, I would imagine, if you take it out on that. Okay, so you're slalom tricking. Are you jumping at all then, or is it mostly slalom and trick?
Is this when I was young?
Yeah. Just as a kid.
Yeah, so I was jumping as a kid too, but like I started a little bit later. I was originally a wakeboarder. Like I went on a family holiday to Spain, and I was a wakeboarder. And during that holiday, my dad was like, hey, like come try skiing. And I tried it and was like, this is okay. And then like after a few days, I ran the slalom course, and then like I didn't care about wakeboarding anymore.
So you were into wakeboarding first?
Yeah, wakeboarding was my first love.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Do you remember how many years did you do that as a kid?
Oh, I mean, I stopped when I was like 8. So from the ages of like 6 to 8. And like I wasn't doing any big tricks or anything like that. Like I saw some pictures from when I was like that age the other day. I always used to wear a helmet. And at one point I was like wakeboarding and slaloming a bit, but like I couldn't do anything more than like a grab or like a wake jump.
Behind the boat?
Yeah, like I could maybe do a wake to wake 180. It was always behind a boat, like had barely tried a cable when I like started skiing. And then later on, as I was like getting more into skiing, I started riding around on the cable a whole bunch, and like I got like pretty into it. Like I could do some flips off a kicker, and like I could spin around on the sliders, but like I had no steez, no style, nothing. Like just I tried a few Rayleighs, and I remember taking the dirtiest edge in the world trying my first Rayleigh.
Are we talking air Rayleigh or off the kicker?
Air Rayleigh.
Yep.
And like I asked the guys on the cable, like, what do you do? And they're like, cut really hard, and then just like imagine you have a piece of gum on your feet and you're trying to get it off your feet. So you just like scrape your shoe along the ground. And I did, and my board did not leave the water.
That's interesting, and I've never heard that
just
before.
like as I came in, I just like face straight and then just took a fucking edge.
Oh, so you weren't the one where you go up and then you come up short and slam. You just
I didn't even take off. Like I just literally edged, and then I turned sideways and just like kicked my feet and just went.
Yeah, that's kind of like the John Dryling fall. There's like a famous one at OWC where John's like, he's not even trying anything. He's trying to face plant, but it's just like full on heel edge, bam, toe side.
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Yeah.
It's on
It makes its
Instagram
rounds.
somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it makes its rounds. He did it on purpose though, which kind of blows my mind. Maybe lost a bet or something. All right, so you're water skiing as a kid, wakeboarding on the cable a little bit, trick skiing on the cable, just getting on the water a ton.
Yeah.
When's the coming to the United States? Like, what's that looking like?
So yeah, that was around like 12. So I was a fat kid. I was a proper fat kid. I was not athletic. Like at this point when I was wakeboarding, I was still a bit of a fat kid. And before I could do a flip, I was like a fat kid. But my first ever flip was on a wakeboard. And when I first started coming out to America, I went on this thing called flip camp, where all you do is you learn to do a flip on a trick ski. That's it. And it was actually out at OWC. It was with Mike Ferraro and then another guy, Ryan. He trained a lot of the Cirque du Soleil guys on the trampoline. He was a pro wakeboarder. I don't know his last name. But we were there for like 3-4 days, and they didn't even let me try a flip behind the boat. They just made me jump the wakes and then do like 1,000,010 flips on a trampoline every day with the rope. And then one day we go out in the wakeboard boat, and they're like, hey, try flip. And I landed the first one.
Really?
And that completely changed my whole life. Like off the back of that trip, landing that flip, I came back and I was like, I'm going to get good at skiing. Because when I was a fat kid, I sucked. Like I was the worst skier in England by far. I was like always last. If someone messed up, I was still last. Like I was not good. I sucked. And I didn't even think I wanted to be good. I just liked playing around and being with my friends. And then after that, I was like, oh, I can do a flip. Like no one else can do a flip except for this one other guy, Rob Hazelwood, who was my big... Not at the time, he wasn't my competition. He was so far ahead. And that winter, I learned like 4 flips. And
really?
I came back, and the first tournament of the year, I beat Rob Hazelwood, which at the time, Rob was like the prodigy child, you know? Like he was England's next best hope. And I was like, And so that like one trip, learning that one flip, that completely...
Kind of a light switch moment, light bulb
light
moment.
switch, and was like, oh, I could be good at this. Like,
interesting. So you learned it behind a wakeboard boat though, right?
Yeah.
Flip. So... Would you say trick skiing as a young kid was like, after that flip, it was like trick skiing 1, slalom and jump after, or is it all kind of the same?
So off the back of that trip, my dad skied with Matt Reaney, my coach now. He skied with Matt Reaney for the week while I was off doing flip camp. And him and my dad got along really well, and he sees like kind of the other kids around the lake and was like, he might have something going on here. Like I'm going to send Joel out here. And when he sent me back out, he sent me to come stay with Matt, and I had like met Matt once. I'd done one set with him ever. My dad had known him for like 7 days, and I went and stayed with him for like 2-3 weeks. And like night one, I'm calling home, I'm like crying my eyes out to my dad and everything. Like, I want to come home. I hate it here. And he's like, just be patient. And then like by week 2, I'm calling my dad like, I want to stay longer, you know? And I'm getting better and better and better. And when I came back, like my coach, John, and my dad were like, what the hell just happened? Because I wasn't fat anymore. Matt just didn't feed me. I don't know what the deal. Like he was
like, you gotta lose some weight, kid.
Yeah, like he was in charge of my food basically, and just like I got an apple a day and a sandwich, and like we had dinner, and we were just at the lake all day, so you're always going. But like I lost a bunch of weight. I got way better at skiing, slalom, trick, and jump. And yeah, like that year I made the team for the first time, and then like 2 years later I won the Europeans in slalom and like overall. I got a podium in jump, and I was like 5th or 6th in trick, which 2 years before that, I was probably the worst skier in Europe. So, you know, a lot can change in 2 years if you kind of focus. But it was definitely all 3. Like I didn't have a favorite. It was like I love just skiing, and I had the energy to be out there and put in the time.
Yeah.
You know?
Each and every one. Okay,
Yeah.
so before we get too deep into water skiing, and we're not going to get into too many nuts and bolts because I'm sure the audience isn't, too familiar with all this stuff, but like there's 3 event skiing, which is what you do, correct?
Yes.
So I guess do a brief rundown of what 3 event skiing is in each discipline and how they're different.
So I'll start off with trick skiing because, it's kind of like the original wakeboarding.
Easy there, bud.
Nah, so you got trick skiing, which is you got 2 20-second runs to get the most points you can get. And each trick has a certain amount of points. And you piece together your run to max out your points, and yeah, that's trick explained basically.
Yeah.
Slalom is just going around buoys, and then each time the rope gets a little shorter and it gets a little harder to go around them, but you're just swinging from side to side on the boat, trying to get around the buoys, and basically it ends up getting faster and harder, and
You don't make it through.
Eventually, you don't make it through, and once you miss a buoy, your turn's done. And then you got jump, which is just adrenaline. Gets your heart going, So jump is exactly what it's called. You hit a jump, and you see how far you can go, and whoever goes the furthest from the jump wins. And yeah, we're aiming for 250 feet, but if you're jumping 230 feet, you're doing pretty good.
Okay.
I think 254 is the world record, and that was by a guy called Ryan Dodd, who's just insanely good at jump.
That's the record, is 254?
254. And then Freddie Krueger, actually, he did a ski fly contest, which ski fly is like jump skiing on steroids. So they made the rope longer, they made the boat faster, and they made the ramp bigger.
So no limitations, just how far can you go?
How far is it possible to humanly go?
Yeah.
And he went 316 feet.
Jesus.
Yeah. It's big, over a football pitch. He flew, man. And honestly, I've never really spoke about it with him, but I'm pretty sure that wasn't even close to maxed out. He posted a jump on Instagram. If someone goes on his Instagram, you guys can probably find it. And he went huge in practice. It is the biggest thing I've ever seen. I would say it's 320 feet kind of thing. So my bet is he's gone further. It's just he had to do it on the day for X Games at this one event. He had one chance to do it, and he just did what he had to do to break it. I don't think he tried to max it out.
Interesting. I was going to say, so these two numbers, kind of talking about jump, this 316 of the ski fly, no limit type thing. Do you think that'll ever be topped or broken?
I would like to.
You'd like to?
I'd like to, yeah. I'd like to have the opportunity. I mean, if we bring ski fly back, you need a bigger engine. But the wakeboard engines now, they're big enough to put in a ski boat. So,
to get the speed necessary. Okay.
I got Mastercraft on board now, so if I ever feel like I'm kind of at that point where I do want to try it, I'm going to ring them up and be like, hey, can I have one of your engines?
I'm sure they'd be down to make it happen.
Because they made Freddie a special custom boat to be able to handle that engine, and because the engine's so big, they had to lift the engine box, and then they had to lift the ski pylon. And if you see that video on Instagram, we can probably find it and clip it into this. Put it in. The pylon is an extra 6 or 7 inches higher because the engine's so big. He had to elevate it a little bit to get over the engine. So the biggest limit is just trying to find an engine and a venue, and then also the balls to do it. Because the boat, you're going 45 miles an hour.
The boat is going 45.
So we normally go 35. It's going 9 miles an hour faster in the boat, and then every time we swing from one side to the other, I don't know what it is in miles. I think it's about 70 miles an hour is about how fast you're going into the ramp on a really big jump. And on ski fly, I bet you're pushing 80, 85.
Wow. That's
you
fast.
Moving,
yeah, you fall. That's going to be a big. We're just not going to talk about that.
We won't talk about
It's not going to happen. So it doesn't matter. And then, let's talk about speeds on the water ski, because you're talking about swinging out back and forth. The boat's going, 36 for men's water ski?
So, for slalom, it goes 36. I don't really know how much we accelerate, but it's definitely a lot of acceleration, deceleration. We're probably hitting 55 to 60 would be my guess, across the wakes. And then as you get out to the buoy and make the turn, you're obviously decelerating at that point. So you would be going, ideally you lose the minimal amount of speed so that you want to try and hold a consistent speed, but it's impossible. You're going to accelerate, decelerate, accelerate, decelerate. Yeah.
Okay. And then trick, what are we talking?
We go 20 miles an hour.
Okay.
Yeah. And you don't really speed up a whole lot.
And a short rope for trick?
Yeah, it's a 12-meter rope, 12.5-meter rope.
36 feet-ish, probably? 40 feet, 36 feet?
Yeah, I'd say under 40 feet.
Okay. So the one thing I did notice about trick is a lot of people don't wear life jackets. Is that a thing?
Yeah, we don't have to. Somehow back in the day, they managed to get some law passed that we don't have to wear a life jacket when we trick, which I'd still get a lot of crap for it, but it's a speed sport. You're trying to go as fast as possible, and I notice if I'm 2 pounds heavy, I feel it.
Really?
It's harder to do things quick and efficient when I'm heavy. So I just don't really get to eat.
Well, and I feel with trick too, it's a lot of body contortion movement where you're you have to speed, like you were saying, moving around a lot. So
in terms of doing one trick, if I'm going to go try something new and I know I'm going to batter myself, I'll probably put a vest on or a life jacket. I'll put something on to protect myself. Mainly just because of the slap kind of thing.
Yeah.
And give me a bit of flotation. But once you start doing a trick run, you're trying to move so quick and efficient and you're twisting so much, having something on you, your arms are so close and tight to your body, like it rubs, you get rash, like it messes up.
It's not conducive to
yeah,
the
it just
sport.
doesn't really work, because we don't have to, like most of us don't. We might like wear a little rash vest or something, but that's about it.
And you're not going very fast either is the thing. You're not like cutting really wide, going super fast.
Yeah, we're going like the Mac. I go 19.7 miles an hour.
Okay.
And I go fast.
That's fast.
A lot of guys are going like in the 18s.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Chickens back there going 18 miles an hour.
I mean, they're like 14. But they are beating me, so.
Oh, well, okay. So for the listeners, if you did want to see what all these skis look like, we've got them behind them here. The trick ski, the slalom, and then that's just one of the two jumps. You're obviously jumping on two, not one. So we got an early Patreon question from Josh Boyle. So if you are interested in supporting the podcast, go ahead and join that Patreon. That's the best way to do, to support the podcast. Means a ton to me. Thanks to everyone who's on that Patreon. We got Josh Boyle wondering, did you ever consider making the switch to wakeboarding? So it sounds like you started wakeboarding, went to water skiing. Was there ever a moment where you're like, maybe I'll go back to this waterboarding thing?
Several moments.
Really?
There have been several moments in my career where I'm just like, man, I want to take up wakeboarding. Like mainly if I've like gone and played around on a cable or something, and like within 2 sessions, I'm like, every time I wakeboard, I seem to be better than the last time I did it, no matter how long I take off. Like I won't do it for like a year, 2 years, and I go back out and I can do new stuff because like my skiing got better and
your muscles
everything just translates, and because I get better on a trick ski every time, I think my spatial awareness is there and just have like more understanding for being upside down and spinning. So like I definitely would love to see where I could get to, like maybe in an off season, just like go to Thailand or something, go hang out with Daniel Grant and just like wakeboard a bunch for like 3 months and see what comes of it.
I'm in full support of that. I mean, if you're asking me, that'd be sick. Cause he's messing around with the trick ski on the cable with the grind base and stuff.
Yeah,
so.
That's insane. Yeah. Like the stuff he's doing out on that trick ski, it's like no one's ever moved like that on a trick ski. I love it.
That's just what happens when he's spent so much time on the water. I think he's looking for something that's a little bit harder to do.
He's a waterman.
Because he wake skates and he makes wake skating look,
sometimes he doesn't even use the wake skate. He'll fall off it and just like drag and then like get back up. And then the wake skate's still under him. You're like,
that thing not get left in the dust back there, bud. So going back to skiing, did you go to college and ski in college, or did you just?
No, I was so close. I was so close to going. I hated school. And my last year of school was like when I was like 17. I like really flunked out hard and I just didn't want to be there. I was getting some bad habits and just, kind of hanging out with the wrong crowd a bit. And I'd broken my shoulder snow skiing, actually, of all things. I'd missed my last junior masters and like I'd won the junior worlds. And like at the time that just kind of felt like that was enough for me. And I didn't really like envision becoming a pro or like being an insane skier. Like my only aim was just to like be really good as a junior and like maybe I could get into college and like get a scholarship kind of thing. And yeah, like that year of school, I was just absolutely hating it and just hanging out with the wrong crowd and really just kind of like wasting my future. And my dad could kind of see that and he just was like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to go to Australia. So I went out to Australia. I spent like 2 or 3 years going out there in the winters, working in a boat, like getting paid dog shit money, like terrible money. Like you got to pay for your own food and everything like that. We lived in a container, like some of the best days of my life though. Absolutely loved those experiences. Like with the first year I went was with one of my best friends. The next year was with another of my best friends. And then we went one more time the year after that. And in that time I really like found my skiing and kind of like evolved as a kind of person, matured a little bit. And right at the end of that, I was this close to going to college. And my coach, Matt, called me up and he was like, hey, like, I can see that you've been putting in the work and you've been grinding. And like, I know you want to go to college and everything like that, but I think you need to move to Florida and come here and come live with me and ski with me. Like, I'm not going to charge you a penny. Like, he's $80 a set. Like, so that's why I went to Australia is I didn't want to live off my parents. I wanted to have my own thing and support myself that bit. And yeah, he kind of gave me that green flag to move in with him. And he fully took me under his wing and like supported me for like a year or two. And he still supports me. Like he's still where I ski every day. And yeah, that was college done. I was like, I'm not going to college. Like I have this opportunity to ski with the best coach in the world. I am taking it.
So college, do you mean in the sense like you were thinking about coming to America to go to an American college and ski for one of the teams here? Is that what most people would do in like that area?
Yeah, like there's two colleges in particular, Monroe and Lafayette. They're both in Louisiana, and they both have really good ski programs, and they give you a full scholarship, full ride. And I'd been offered, like I was literally signed up to go, like I was fully invested. I was gonna go to college. But like I'm a bit of a wild child, and I think my coach as well kind of knew that and was like, if you go to college, you're never coming back. Like that will be you done. And I guess, he saw something that I didn't really know was there at the time.
That's awesome insight there. So speaking of the college scene, though, it seems like you knew a bit about it, still know a bit about it. What do you think about the American collegiate water ski culture scene? It's
amazing. It's like I went to Collegiate Nationals like 2 years ago, I think, and such a cool atmosphere. Like it's so cool. They got the tour like team spirit. They got all the teams competing against each other. But like, as much as they care and it's serious, it's so fun. Like they're all really invested in it, but they're having as much fun as they can possibly have. And it was just like an insane event. And a lot of my friends all went to college. I used to go visit them and have the best time ever. But like I said, bit of a wild child and don't really have that off switch. So
a lot of partying going on in the American colleges, especially if you're on a water ski team, I'm sure. So all right. Yeah. I think the water ski wakeboarding, like in college thing, and I like to talk to other people like Mike Dowdy, who's been involved in the wakeboard side of, the teams. I think it's a really unique atmosphere to get a lot of people into water sports for relatively cheap. And it's a good way to progress with a bunch of people. So
as well, like, if you're right on that semi-pro stage and you just haven't quite like broke through, like, I'm sure if I went to college, I would have become a better athlete. I know myself, I would have gone the wrong way. You got to be aware of yourself. Maybe I would have kept a hand on it, but chances are I would have gone the other way and enjoyed the other stuff of college too much. But for so many athletes, they go to college and that is that window to get from 18 to 22, which you're not always a pro at 18. You're right there. You're a semi-pro. You're good. You could make a final, but by the time you get to 22, now you're serious. Now you've like tuned in. You actually know what you're trying to do. And in skiing, especially in skiing, it takes time.
Time on the water.
It's time on the water. A lot of skiers don't really become good until like mid-20s, later 20s. You see people going all the way through their late 30s. Like there's a lot of late bloomers in skiing. Like it's a mental game. It's more of like a skill than a sport.
Because I'm comparing that with wakeboarding, like that's just not the case for sure.
No,
like
but you guys get hurt, right?
Younger. Yeah.
Like you beat your bodies up.
Yeah. You guys don't?
No, we do, but you learn through good technique to not do it. Whereas in wakeboarding, the only way you learn something new is beating your body up, right?
Unless you got a really good coach who's walking you through things step by step.
But even still, like you're going to take a hit, you're going to take a crash. You're learning new tricks all the time. We're just trying to do the same thing on repeat, but more efficiently.
Interesting.
So
it makes sense.
It's different. And like in trick skiing, a lot of the kids are really good. Like we have like trick skiers now that are like 14, 15, 16 that are on par with the top athletes. And you don't see trickers late in their career. It's more like wakeboarding in the sense of like, as you get that little bit older, I guess you fatigue more, you slow down, you're not quite as quick and small and as efficient. But in jump and slalom, like you got to be big, powerful, strong. You got to know what you're actually trying to do. It's a technique,
That definitely makes sense. That makes a lot of sense comparing those two. So we got a voice message from Brooks Wilson. None other than he run through what his position is, I guess, because I'm not entirely.
Brooks is the man. He, I think he runs radar, but mostly I see him just kind of having a good time. Like he seems to be. Don't get me wrong. The guy works like an animal, and he is good with people. Like he remembers everyone's names, but he gets to travel around the world and live this amazing life, kind of promoting radar and running the radar side of the company, and like straight up awesome dude. Like anyone who knows Brooks loves him. I don't know if anyone doesn't like Brooks.
Brooks Wilson, one of one, just great at living life is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right, so we got a voice message from Brooks Wilson. Go ahead and give it a listen. It's kind of ends with a question, but I'll just let him talk here.
Joel Poland, where do you start? Undoubtedly the most talented person I've ever seen, or I dare say that's ever ridden a water ski. It's incredible just to watch him ski, but what's even more impressive about the kid is how that doesn't define him as who he is as a person. He's the life of every situation he's in. He brings his unique energy and fun attitude wherever he goes. Whether that's shotgunning beers between passes at the photo shoot or running 41 off at the World Champs to try to get himself another world title, the guy never ceases to amaze me. The only thing about him that I question is that he thinks people should shit their pants to save time. But that's just Joel, baby.
So there's a story behind that. Because I was talking to Brooks Wilson on the phone. What's the story behind that? Should adults wear diapers?
So the first time I met Brooks, we were talking, and I was basically telling him how going to the toilet is inefficient. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, think about all the time you're losing taking a deuce. Like, it's a lot of time. I mean, I don't know about you, but I could be in there 30, 40 minutes, and time just flies by. So my solution was that we should all wear diapers. Now, bearing in mind at the time, I was like 13. I'm not sure if I still stand by it. But yeah, at the time, he seemed to really enjoy that comment, and he's never really let it go.
I mean, maybe he secretly agrees.
I think I saw him wearing a diaper last year somewhere.
Well, he's getting up there in age too, right?
He is getting kind of old.
So that could be a little, I mean, in a boat show too.
Yeah,
you're at a boat show, dude.
You stand around all day. Can you imagine, though, how much more sales you could get? If
How
you
many
never
more?
had to go take a... You could be talking to the eye contact, and they wouldn't even know.
They wouldn't. You'd be
Apart
pissing
from like
yourself.
a little
Yeah.
like eye twitch.
So thanks for that, Brooks Wilson. I think there are some, miscalculations because 30 to 40 minutes on the can, first off. What are we doing in there, bud? Like, that's a long time. I mean, you're scrolling, I guess. You're working. You're scrolling, maybe posting a new reel. Who knows?
That's when I do my editing.
But then you do have to empty the diaper.
That is true.
So that's not going to be pretty.
Well, you think of it like that. You take it off, you throw it away, you jump in the lake, give it a little shimmy shimmy, you're clean.
You're right.
And I'm always by a lake. So maybe this is a water skiers thing. Like maybe like skiers, surfers, like kite surf, like anyone in the water sports industry. If you're a track runner, like probably not. Just go to the bathroom.
It's kind of what your culture is. And if you're a water sports kind of person, maybe the diapers would work out. I mean,
Better
maybe diaper sponsor in the future. Who knows? So
I should try that.
Dude, never hurts, man. What Charmin? I don't even know who makes diapers. All right, so we got a trick ski giveaway. So speaking of radar skis and Brooks, I was talking on the phone, and he's nice enough that this episode we're going to give away one of your trick skis.
No, you're
your
kidding.
pro model trick ski. So I'll put in. You got it right there, but I don't want to have you pick it up because it might fall. So
I
I'll put in it. Can I grab it? All right, put it on the table here.
Oh, there's a bit of a wire.
So a couple of things I think are cool. I don't really know shit about trick skis, but the graphic, both this year and last year, were pretty sick.
Yeah,
from a wakeboarder's perspective.
That was pretty important.
So it's tipping over on its own.
I guess it wants to face that way.
So we're going to give away a trick ski.
Yep.
It will be on the Patreon. So you guys go ahead and join the Patreon. Either tier, it doesn't matter. You'll be in the giveaway here, and I'll do it a week after this podcast comes out. So the Tuesday after this podcast comes out, we'll go ahead and give this away. But this isn't just going to anybody. It's the first person on that Tuesday that I post this. The first person who gets right the first trick you invented on a trick ski. Because you've invented tricks, right? Mm-hmm. So the first person to comment on the Patreon, post about this, what the first trick was that you invented.
I really like that.
So I have no idea. I didn't even know. I didn't know tricks were still being invented on trick skis, to be honest. But so go ahead and join that Patreon if you guys are interested. And then we'll get in touch with whoever does win. So, I mean, I guess maybe a little bit more information about this trick ski. Like, what size are we talking? What's unique about it? I don't know.
Yeah, so we have like 3 sizes. We do 41, 42, 43 inches. And then, there's not a whole lot to tell you except, like, I mean, it's a trick ski. It's pretty good. We did some stuff with, like, different flex. So, like, this is, like, kind of the poppiest trick ski you'll get. So, in terms of, like, inventing a new trick and doing a bigger flip, like, you need more time in the air. That's pretty simple. And the wakes aren't getting bigger. Like, we're trying to make wakes smaller, if anything, for like slalom and jump kind of stuff. Maybe a trick they're a little better kind of thing. But yeah, like the wakes aren't big. So you need as much pop as you can get. And that was kind of what we based this trick ski about. And just nice and poppy. We got some flex boxes in it. I think that kind of started off with wakeboarding. We kind of stole a little bit of information from them.
Yeah, this is on a kinetic and some other balls, I'm sure.
And then, just playing around with a few different like cores, different flexes, and like that kind of stuff. Definitely have like a unique shape. Like the underneath of it is very unique. in like how it like sits in the water. But like I won't bore all your wakeboarders with all that kind of junk.
It's a damn good trick ski is what I'm hearing.
It's a pretty good trick ski, yeah. Like it does its stuff pretty good.
And I think if you do win it, you gotta post a video or a picture of you using it. That's the caveat here, because if you're gonna get it, you gotta use it. So,
and I'm obviously gonna follow whoever wins it too.
There you go. That's huge. I was trying to get a follow from Joel Poland for months. And
I'll follow you back. Just send me a message.
All right. So yeah, we can go ahead and put that back.
Yeah,
over
we'll
there.
get rid of that.
So yeah, go ahead and join the Patreon if you're interested. Get that. So we were talking setup. So we just went through your setups a little bit, but I'm curious on the slalom ski itself, and we're not going to dive too much into it because we got other stuff we want to talk about. But the size of your ski, your fin settings, and I heard fin settings are huge. Those matter a ton.
Yeah, dude, we change them by like 1,000.
Okay, so that's a big deal.
Like we're talking like a fingernail is a difference, and you feel it.
You feel it. I heard you really feel it.
We move our bindings by 1/16 of an inch. Like these things are. Slalom skis are kind of like snowflakes. I don't know what it's like in wakeboarding. Do they all seem to come out the exact same every single time, or are they like a little bit different?
I think they're pretty much the same.
Pretty much the same every time. I wouldn't
notice if they weren't.
Like in trick skis, they're always pretty much the exact same. But like slalom skis and jump skis, I mean, they'll feel like almost identical kind of thing, but there will be subtle differences.
These units are handmade though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially like all the vapor stuff is made like in America at Radar Lake, and I mean they'll all be like pretty much the exact same. Like you won't notice it until like you get to that 41 off, that 10-2 pass, and you get to your hardest point. Like you do feel the difference there.
Interesting.
And most people don't feel it. Like I never used to feel it. I would just get on a ski and be like, it feels the exact same. And my coaches are like, trust me, like there's things different here. And once you kind of like get into tune to that, then you start noticing, and then that's where, you know, you change your fin by 1,000ths, then you feel it. You change your boot by 1/16 of an inch and you feel it. Like tiny little things like that. And you wouldn't feel it like as an average Joe.
We're talking the 1% of the 1%
It's like
guys.
once you're looking for that 0.5% extra is when you would feel it. And they all just kind of come out a little bit different. So you're always just trying to get your settings set up to match that specific ski.
To what works best for you.
Exactly.
Okay.
But you definitely have you have the ski, you have the shape, you know how it skis, you know where you're going to be, and then maybe you're changing it like a little tiny bit.
Yeah. Seems like something that maybe some water skiers might obsess over.
Yeah, right now there's some water skiers just like jumping up and down in that chair, and there's a bunch of wakeboarders. Like,
you adjust your shit after every time?
Up, what? It's a ski, just ride it.
Yeah, I'm kind of on that page. Hit me with a session or whatever the wide boys are. It's boots though. So on the slalom ski, you got a front boot.
Yep.
Full boot.
Yep.
Back ski, you're kind of raw dogging with just your foot.
No boot. So it's just like I mean, I can chuck it on the table.
So yeah, I guess, again, this is kind of water ski, terminology here, but a lot of people do. That's impressive. A lot of people do two boots. Seems like a hardo move if you're asking me.
Yeah, like that was definitely the way, maybe like 10 years, and in the last 10 years, it's kind of gone like a bit 50-50, and now like all the top guys, bar like one or two, they'll be on like a front boot like this, where it's like releasable, so it comes off. It's like a snow ski boot. And then they just got like a back kicker, and you just kick your foot in there. Maybe I see a lot of people go like a super custom job. They cut it perfect. They get the rubber there themselves, and I just buy it from a shop. Like, I'm not too fussy. And like this is pretty standard. A lot of people will like play around with their boot and like try drill a bit out and cut a bit here and do this and do like it's just a standard boot. Like all my stuff is just standard.
Okay. I'm all about just the standard
stuff.
Well,
my theory is like if it breaks, I don't want to have to rebuild it every time. Like I got to be able to just get on anything, which actually I have a cool story about getting on anything.
Let's hear it.
So a few years ago, I went to a competition and flying there, it was in Austria. I flew from America. I get to Austria and my bags didn't show up. And I'm like, oh, this sucks. So I got there a week ahead, like 4 or 5 days ahead of the tournament. Oh no, it was like 4 days ahead of the tournament. And yeah, my bag didn't show up day one. The next day, I'm waiting around all day. I got a rental car, so I drive back to the airport to see if it is there, and it's still not there. I'm like, where is it? And they're like, we don't know. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know? I flew here and I was there. It's either here or there. What? They've lost it. So I'm like, okay, I got to start like planning plan B now. So one of my buddies lived on the other side of Austria. It was like a 4-hour drive. So I get in my car and I just start driving to him to go borrow his stuff. jump skis, slalom skis, trick ski. Like all I had was the clothes I was wearing and like a spare t-shirt and a hoodie. I had one pair of shorts. I had one pair of shoes. I had 2 shirts and a hoodie. That was it. I just had my backpack. Everything else was lost because I put all my clothes and stuff in there. So I don't even have board shorts. So I'm like borrowing everything of his, all the way down to shorts, clothes, jeans. Like I have nothing. And we come back to this tournament and I set up all his stuff and I ski on it. And I ski terrible because like I just told you, we feel a 16th of an inch. And he's on like a ski that was like 2 years older than mine. And we kind of change shape like every year or two. So this was like a different shape ski. The boot was a size different. The binding on the back was a size different. Like the trick skis were the wrong sizes. The rope, I'm trying to just guess how long I would normally put it. I'm using someone else's gloves, someone else's board shorts, someone else's jump skis, like everything. And I skied terrible. But I have a competition the next day and I need to make it work. So we go out, I ski the prelims and just like, I don't know where it came from, but like I ran my 39 past my 10.7, which at the time, if I run that, I was happy and I just did it on someone else's stuff. So I was like ecstatic. Trick, I pretty much like stand up all my stuff and get away with it and then jumped pretty good. Like I think I won the slalom event, I won the jump event, and then I got like second in the trick event.
Overall, so at the end, like when it's all
and
said
then
and done?
I won the overall tournament. It was an overall tournament. It was just 3 event skiers.
Okay.
But yeah, like won the tournament. And yeah, after that moment, I was like, you know what? Equipment doesn't matter.
You know, it kind of does. Maybe the 1/16th of an inch here and there, maybe not as huge of a deal as a lot of people make it seem.
Yeah. But
good story. I mean, yeah, it's the Indian, not the arrow always, right? Like you can always say that, you know, this little piece of gear is going to help me a little bit more, but it's mostly about the fundamentals of the actual.
Well, that's it. If your fundamentals are good, like you can do, like there's a feeling you get sometimes of like anytime, any place on anything. And like, that was one of those moments where I was like, I got this shit on lock. Like in terms of at the time running 39, 10.7 was like a big thing for me. And once I did it on someone else's ski, I'm like, this is just what I do now. And I made it like, then it was no longer a question. And it was the same thing in jump. Like I jumped pretty much what I was jumping and I tricked what I was tricking. I'm like, if I can do this on someone else's stuff, I never have to stress about this ever again. Yeah. Like this is my baseline now. This is my minimum. I can do it on anything.
Yeah, 100%. And I always feel like I see some people, you know, obsess over like a pre-purchase decision where they're like, should I get this or get this or get this? Especially people who are beginning or just getting into it. I see that a lot with wakeboarding, whether it's cable or boat. Yeah. And they're like, you know, what's the perfect board for me? Dude, it doesn't matter. Just like get a board, make sure it's the decent size, get decently comfortable bindings, and then worry about it in like 4 years or 2 years, whatever. Like
just get going.
Get going. Like, it's not a big deal.
The whole shopping around, should I get this? Should I get that?
It's fun.
Do I need this? Do I need that? Like, I get it. You want to get the right stuff, but at the end of the day, just get out there, go get some stuff, get going, figure it out later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So great little story to relate to that too. So yeah, I got the rear toe plate, not double booting it. Mm-hmm. So I think it's a good time to do the LF'n wheel of questions presented by Liquid Force.
The LF'n wheel of questions.
Okay, let's go. So go ahead and grab that wheel down, and are you gonna do it up there?
Do you want me to do it up there or bring it down?
It's up to you.
I mean, let's bring it down.
Yeah, bring it down. I'm always worried that it's gonna spin and then topple over, and the way I installed these shelves is maybe not, you know, carpentry.
Yeah, just like nailed it.
Yeah, just like drywall.
Bit of super glue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so we got a bunch of stuff on here. So water ski-ish related. So go ahead and give that a spin. Yeah, nothing.
Water ski trivia.
Yeah, I mean that's. I got a few here. So we got 3 water ski trivia questions.
Yep.
And they're all related to the same thing though. So who invented water skiing?
I couldn't even guess.
That's okay. All right. His name is Ralph Samuelson.
Oh, really?
What year was water skiing invented?
1928.
Close. 1922.
Oh, I knew it was 20.
And where was water skiing invented?
Seattle.
Nope. Lake City, Minnesota. According to Lake City, Minnesota. So I Googled, water ski trivia.
Yeah.
and Lake City, Minnesota had like a bunch of water ski stuff claiming that they invented water skiing. I'm hoping somebody comments and is like, bullshit. Like, no.
Liar.
But they claimed it pretty heavy that they were like, July 2nd, 1922, Ralph Samuelson.
Man, I got to start like studying my history. I don't know nothing.
Yeah. So, while we're on trivia, I did want to do frog trivia because you love frogs. I was talking to Brooks. You love frogs, right?
Thanks, Brooks.
Huge fan. So if anyone's, if you're at a water ski tournament, you got a pet frog, bring it because Joel would love to meet the pet frog. Not all species. We're going to do frog trivia. We got 4 here. True and false. So it's a lot easier than, guessing what year water skiing was invented. Not all species of frogs can jump. True or false?
False.
True. Not all species can jump. Some of them, they said, are too weak to jump.
They just can't jump. See, that's the kind of frog I could get on board with because my big thing that freaks me out about frogs is they're just so unpredictable.
And they're fast, dude. They're quick. They're quick.
You don't know where they are, and then like they'll jump, and I swear, like mid-air, they change direction. It freaks me out.
They're slimy, dude. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan.
And like every other animal follows its head, not a frog. A frog does not follow. Like a snake, you know where he's going. You know if he's trying to hurt you. He's looking at you. He comes at you with his head. Same thing with a lion. But a frog?
It's a good point. It could be looking one way, the next thing springboards right at you.
Just freaks me out.
All right, we got 3 more. The biggest frog in the world weighs nearly 7 pounds. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
That is true. They said it's the size of a newborn baby, which is just an absurdly huge frog.
I hope he can't jump.
Yeah, he might be a little heavy. But you'd think if he's that big, his legs are going to be just...
If he can jump, he can jump. This guy's got springs.
Jumping over houses.
It's the next Michael Jordan.
This one will be a good one. This will probably ease your fear of frogs. 1 gram of the toxin produced by the skin of the golden poison dart frog could kill 50,000 people. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
So this is a tricky one. False. It's actually 100,000 people that it could kill. 1 gram could kill 100,000 people.
Yeah, okay. So it's a justified fear because I don't know what that frog looks like.
If you see it, you want to turn tail.
Do you know if they exist in Florida?
That one sounds like a rainforest type situation. So
Okay.
I think we just kind of keep our heads in the sand on that one. Pretend it doesn't exist here.
Yep.
And then last one. After frogs shed, they usually eat their old skin. True or false?
I'm going to say false.
True, they do.
Oh,
They're
they
sick little frogs, dude.
Dirty bastards.
I want to talk about water ski tournaments.
Oh.
Because me and you were talking about before the podcast, just kind of, I've tuned into some here and there, and you obviously participate in many of them.
Yeah, I've been to a couple.
Just a couple. So I've tuned into the live streams, and they're super well done, I think. Like the Water Ski Broadcast Company are the ones that I've tuned into. The one thing I noticed is that like someone who's not super into water skiing, I had a hard time maybe following like what to watch and when to watch.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, because it's an all day thing, it seemed like to me.
Yeah.
So that was like something that I'm wondering is, do you think water ski tournaments are too long? And if so, is there anything that like from the athlete side that you'd like to see of, how would we shorten it up or this, that, or the other for people who are consuming the stuff?
Yeah. Like I definitely agree that like they are too long in the set. Like, selfishly, I enjoy that they're longer because I do the slalom, trick, and jump, so I get more of a break in between. If we like banged it out in like 2-3 hours, which like we have an overall tour, it's called the World Waterskiers. Like on that tour, we do bang it out in 3 hours, and there's like 5 in the finals. It's 5 girls, 5 guys. We all trick, we all slalom, we all jump. So we do like 10 trick, 10 jump, 10 slalom, back to back to back. It's done in like 3 hours. And that is definitely quicker and like a little bit more entertaining because it's fast paced. But it's just because it's like 5-5-5 and the aim is to move quick.
Yeah.
With a regular pro tournament, it's normally, the prelims, maybe 2 rounds of prelims, then we do a final, or if there's like a head to head when you've got like 2 boats running at once kind of thing. It takes forever. Like we can go into that kind of.
I definitely want to talk about that too.
You want to go into that too? But yeah, like it's slow. And honestly, like I don't have a good answer for how you fix that.
Yeah.
I think you just have to do a better job of like marketing when to tune in.
And it might be just that simple. That
Yeah.
could be it. Like, because that's just what I'm a guy that doesn't follow water skiing
Yeah.
to like a T, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm not super into it. But a good slalom like finals,
Yeah.
if they make heroes out of the people and like there's a good storyline,
Yeah.
I'll tune in.
Well, it's like in Formula One, you can watch Formula One all day if you want. They'll talk all day. They do all the testing. They do practice 1, practice 2, practice 3, qualifying, the pre-qualifying show, the after-qualifying show, the pre-race show. It's all day. But you just tune in for the race if you just want to tune in for the race. If you're a huge F1 fan, like, I mean, I'm a bit of a F1 fan, so I tune into like a lot of it. You have that option. And they just do a good job of like, if you go on the app or the website or wherever, it says like boom, 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 boom. This is when to watch. This is when the race will start. And you just tune in at that time.
Yeah.
Boom. And we have that in skiing, but I think we could just do a better job of like marketing it.
Kind of hit you in the face with the meat and
really
potatoes.
hit you in the face with, like exactly that. This is when to tune in. And like, I don't know what it's like in wakeboarding, but I'm sure you get the same thing. If a wakeboard event goes all day. It's not an hour affair. It's all day. You guys are lucky because you just have like guys and girls wakeboarding. We have like the slalom, the trick, the jump, guys, girls.
Yeah, you got a lot going on.
So yeah, like in that sense, it definitely takes up a lot of time. But then, you know, if you just want to watch the jump event, just tune in for the jump. If you just want to watch the trick, just tune in for the trick. Make it clear of when it is, and I think that kind of like solves that issue.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, and it doesn't have to be super complicated either. Not trying to solve the world's problems out here. But so you were talking about, before you explained that, you said there was like head-to-head with 2 boats. Yeah. So what are we talking about with that? Because in my head, it sounded pretty sick.
Yeah, no, it's not quite as sick as you're thinking. No, they're not at the same time. They are, but we take turns. So you have 2 boats. You have one boat goes first, one boat goes second, with 2 skiers. So like boat 1 has skier 1, boat 2 has skier 2. And like you get to choose if you want to go first or if you want this boat or that boat, because there's always a bit of a difference with the boat, kind of like what we're saying with skis, the snowflakes. Yeah. Same thing with boats. Like they're always a little bit different. And then you have like a driver too, and the driver can affect you a lot in slalom. So yeah, you go out, someone skis down, and then you wait like 20, 30 seconds, and then the next boat skis down and skis that past too. So you would go like 32, 32, 35, 35, 38, 38, 39, 39, 41, 41, which,
I mean, that does sound pretty sick to me.
It is really cool.
What you're saying is the rope's getting shorter each time, right?
Yeah, like so those numbers, the rope getting harder and pass getting shorter each time. And then, yeah, like if you go out and you run like 2 at this pass, I'm next. And I see that you just ran 2, so I have to run 3 right now to progress to the next round.
2 buoys is what he's talking about. So you got around 2 buoys.
I got around 2, so I need to get at least around 3 to move on or to beat them. If you get 2, then whoever's got the score goes through. So that's an advantage of going first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, but some people like to go second to know what the score is to beat. Yeah. So it's kind of up to you. And then once you get to the final and like the final one, because you start with 8 people, so it's like 4 and 4, and then you go 2 and 2, and you go the final one. Like 1-on-1 kind of thing. And then on the final, it's just you keep going till the best score. So you can tie in the final. And sometimes they just keep going. Like there was an event a few years ago, I think it was California Pro-Am, and there's a guy, Rob Hazelwood, that guy that I was like always competing against as a kid, him and another guy, Freddie Winter. I don't know how many of you guys will know him, but another friend of mine. And then 2 went like back and forth. Like they had like 5 or 6 goes, both just getting the same score every time, tying.
See, that would be pretty engaging to watch, though, because you're like, well, who's gonna fall first?
It was amazing, but it was the worst webcast in the world.
Of course.
It was the most amazing event ever, and like, no offense to California Pro-Am, but like, it was not their finest webcast. Like, they had like 2 cameras, and you know, we've got the Waterskier Broadcasting Company, and they have like 26 cameras. You know, it's just, I don't know how many they actually have, but they have cameras in the water. They have cameras flying through the air. There's a guy like running down the bank after the boat.
And they got commentators too, right?
They got all the commentators and everything like that, which they have commentators at this event. They I wish they had captured that moment more on camera, because I think it would have been a huge moment in like our sport.
Yeah, even to upload afterwards for people to watch.
Yeah, to go back and watch it, but I'd probably not go back and watch it now just because it's hard to watch. It's slow, you know?
Yeah, and that's, okay, so you're talking about, that's how one aspect of like 2 boats being involved is. I swear I saw many years ago, there was side-by-side slalom skiing.
Yeah, that's happened. They've done that. We did an event like that 2 years ago in England.
What do you think about that?
It was insane. I didn't get to ski it. I didn't get to ski. I had to miss that one. But really, really cool idea. because like as you're coming across, you can kind of like look out the side of your eye and see what they're doing and see if they're still there, you know?
Yeah.
Because if they're not still there, then like you don't have to really keep going. You can kind of just stop. But you know, you're going out there to just go for it. The only downside of that is the lake they had to do it on was really wide, and there was a clear, this course is better than the other because of the wind. It just got windy that day, and that's the only reason why it didn't work perfectly, and that's the only reason why they didn't really do it again, is they just got killed by the wind.
Yeah.
So it just made whoever skied on the left course, they won.
Yeah.
Clearly. And if you're on the right course, you just tried to hold in there. And
yeah, you definitely can't have it be uneven. That's kind of kills the point of a competition. Yeah. But I feel like there are water ski lakes where maybe even if there's like a island running down the middle, and then you got two going next to each other, and you can't see each other. And then, like, I don't know. I
mean, I honestly think though, like in trick, it would work so easily because you don't go that wide. You could do it on like any kind of ski lake. You're right behind the boat. Like you can go so close to each other and you wouldn't hit. The only downside is everyone goes a different speed. It's custom. I don't know if it's the same in wakeboarding.
Yeah, you can pick whatever you want.
Yeah, so like people at different speeds, and like I go fast, this guy might go slow, so we might be moving at different speeds. But like, I'm pretty sure we can figure that issue out, right?
I don't know if that's not
you go a little bit earlier, I go a little bit later, and
it doesn't have to be perfect, right?
It doesn't have to be perfect, but you could definitely make it work. And I do think that kind of concept would be.
I just think that like the more and more people are hitting the face with like tons of good content, like the water sports industry also has to level up with like everything else. Like you are competing against all these other great forms of content that people are seeing in the world. So got to try new shit, and sometimes it doesn't work. That's fine.
Keep moving on or get left behind, but keep trying new stuff, and definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think all that would be really cool. Mm-hmm. Involving more boats, I think, is good just to keep it moving, keep people engaged.
Is it Wakefest, the tournament, where like they go and put a bunch of riders into like a houseboat and you can't look out, you can't see what anyone else does?
Yep.
And you just have to go out and put down your run, and you have no idea what anyone else did.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, from the riders I've talked to, that's like, they think it's one of the best events. Obviously, there's a huge purse for that event, and there's a lot of energy because it's houseboats and people, or just people in tons of boats around. But yeah, that's a cool concept too.
Dude, just getting plucked out one by one.
I know. It's sick.
You're just sitting there like waiting. Dude, imagine being the last guy. Imagine just sitting there all lonely.
Because it's not an advantage like it typically would be, where if you saw, I mean, maybe a little bit, but like.
Just kind of waiting. And like, I don't know if you can hear people outside or what, but like, I mean, if you could hear people outside and everyone just went like fucking crazy, like.
Or if they just went like, oh, like right after the run started, you're like, oh, he fell.
Oh, yeah, he fell. Like, but yeah, like I would love to see that in skiing. Yeah. I'd love to see that. Yeah. And I think we should see more of that kind of stuff.
Like you mean unique stuff that's just a little bit different, but still follows a like somewhat traditional.
Well, yeah, I mean, like there's a spectator side and everything like that, but like I like to compete. I like to mix it up. I like to, try something a little bit new kind of every day, and that to me is like straight down my alley of like doing those different concepts.
Yeah, I had a crazy idea in a dream the other day.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, we might be going on a weird rabbit hole here. But it was a slalom course, but it wasn't like traditional. Okay. It changed. So you had like 4 stops and they all were different.
Different width?
Like buoys were in different places.
Yeah. Every now and then you just make one like really big so you might hit it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then obviously you have traditional but like, I don't know. I just thought that'd be kind of fun.
Yeah. I mean, like I got nothing against trying that kind of thing. Like if a tournament organizer came to us and said, I want to try this, like I'll put my hand up and say, hell yeah, I'm in. Like, that kind of stuff just gets me going.
Yeah. Love it. So speaking of water ski tournaments, what's your favorite one that you've competed in or compete in?
It's between 2. Moomba Masters is obviously, I mean, I love Australia. I went and skied at like 2 or 3, but this was when I was in that stage of living and working out there and like being a semi-pro kind of thing. I've never got to go there in recent years because I'm banned.
You're banned from Moomba Masters, or you're banned from Australia?
I'm banned from Australia.
Okay, well, we got to get into that a little bit.
Yeah.
So what happened there?
I went to the Moomba Masters the year they opened up after COVID. We missed one because of COVID, and then the next year we had the Moomba Masters. And originally, the only way you could go was by getting an athlete visa. And then right at the last minute, they opened it up to just like anyone could go, like to Australia. So I was like, all right, I'll go. And I went, I show up to the tournament, or I show up to Australia, I like fly all the way to Sydney. And as I get off the plane, I'm the last guy off. Everyone else is ahead of me. They all do customs. It gets to my turn of customs. They're like, what are you doing here? And I do my same old story. I tell them everywhere I go, I'm here to water ski. I'm going to go water ski with a few friends. I'm heading to Melbourne. That's the plan. And they're like, oh, really? We just had like 20 other people going to Melbourne for this pro water ski event. Are you going to that by any chance? And I'm like, nah.
We just never heard of it.
Me? Nah. What's that? Anyway, the guy like lets me go and he says, hey, just follow my friend. He's going to check your bag. I'm like, cool. I'm thinking, I got away with this. Well, because I knew I didn't have the visa too. And everyone else did. But I go to my bag. We're looking through my bag and everything. And the guy was like super nice, super genuine. Like, you know, how's your day been? How was your travels? You know, what was he asking you kind of thing? And I'm just being honest with him, getting a chat. Like, anyway, he gets a little bit of information out of me that I'm like a pro water skier. And I just told him that I'm like fully funded by my parents. Like, I didn't mention sponsors or anything like that. Like, my parents fund me. I'm a little rich kid. Like, just, you know, what everyone else is.
Call me an asshole, let me go.
Yeah, like, call me an asshole, let me go. Anyway, he says, all right, follow me. And he goes and puts me in a side room. And then they just left me there for like an hour. Like 40 minutes to an hour. I don't know. They took all my stuff. Like, I don't know how long I was in there, but I was enough that I like went through all the emotions. I was calm. I was stressed out. I almost cried. I came back to calm again. Then I was freaking out. My palms were sweaty. Vomit on my sweater, you know. You know how it goes. I was freaking the hell out. But he comes back in, and when he left the room, he was a nice guy. And when he came back in, his face changed. He was like staring me down, eyes wide. Like, this guy's not my friend. I could feel it. And the guy just starts listing off everything I told him. I'm looking at him the whole time like, screw you, man. Like, I thought you were my buddy. Which, you know, stupid on me. But, yeah, so they figured everything out. It took like one little Google search to see that I was going to Moomba. And they're like, yeah, you can't come. So I got like handcuffed. I got taken to like this little jail cell overnight. They like put me in there. They were like, you can either take your shoelaces out or you can just take off your shoes. Like, I wasn't allowed a phone charger. I wasn't allowed my belt. I wasn't allowed nothing. They just, like, threw me in the room. And it had a bed. It was like a hotel bed, but it was in, like, a jail cell kind of room. And there was a TV, but it was behind a screen. So I couldn't get to it. And they didn't give me a remote. Like,
oh, that's torture.
Dude, Shrek was playing.
Oh, it was on, though, but you couldn't change the channel?
Couldn't turn it off. All night. Just watching Shrek. Like, dude, like, haunting me. I haven't watched Shrek since. Like, it brings back bad memories. But when I get my phone, they did give me my phone, but they'd gone through all of it. I was on like 14% when I got it. So I quickly called up my coach and was like, hey, this is the deal. I'm coming back. I don't know when I'm getting back, but like, they're shipping me back. I'll let you know tomorrow. I hang up the phone. I'm on 6%. I'm like, oh, shit. So I quickly call up one of my friends going to the tournament. I tell her the deal. Same thing. I turn my phone off. I'm on like 2%. And like, I call my dad, and like halfway through the conversation, my phone dies. And then I'm back to just like sitting in the room, feeling all sad, feeling like I'm going to go to jail. My life's over, you know, because I love Australia. And all I can think is like, they're never going to let me back in.
So,
and,
so you didn't have the visa, but they said Moomba, like the event said you guys could come.
Yeah, because you make money, it's work.
Okay. So technically, no matter what, you would need the visa.
You're meant to have that visa when you go.
Okay.
And if you don't have it, like, they can turn you around and kick you out the country because you're technically going there to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, just bad situation. I think I would have been fine if I wasn't the last guy off the plane.
Yeah, you got to be one of the first guys.
And I just didn't know that. I didn't even think about it. And I didn't think that everyone else would have the visa. But yeah, everyone did.
That's a huge bummer.
And yeah, so I've got like 1 more year left on my ban.
Oh, so it's got a time limit though.
Yeah, it's a 3-year ban.
Okay, I'm sure there's some people that are in Moomba Masters that are kind of celebrated. Like, you know, we got a 3-year hiatus from Joel Poland on this tournament.
Like, in a way, yeah, but like, I get a lot of I've had a lot of people message me, and like, I see some of the comments as well, like on Instagram, of just like kind of going like, why the hell are you not here? And like, that's why I'm like, I love that
because he doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, so that's definitely my favorite tournament is Moomba. But then it's really close with Herb's Cup. We have that radar event, Herb's Cup, and it's not like a regular competition. It's like we're talking of a different format. So you get 7 minutes to get your biggest score, but you have to run your highest pass before that score. So what that means is in 7 minutes, you can go out any rope length you want. And then the highest score would win. So if I got like 2 at 41, my score is 2 at 41, and then you go to backup boys, which means I'm doing a terrible job of explaining this. I'm going to start from the beginning.
Start from the top because I'm not following.
All right, so you have 7 minutes. Normally what would happen in a ski tournament is you would go out on your beginner pass, you would run like 3 easy passes, then you would run your like hard pass, and then you've got your like, if you run this pass, you're a god, which is 41. And normally like people are getting like between 2 and 4 at 41. Well, in this tournament, you have 7 minutes to get that score, which normally to get that score would take about 7 or 8 minutes because you stop at each end, you shorten the rope, you come back in. But instead, what happens with Herb's Cup is you have the 7 minutes to get that score, and then you have a backup score as well. And you can get as many backup scores as you want. So if I went out and I got 3 at 41, and then I ran 2 and 2, my score would be 3. If someone else goes out and gets 3, they have to beat my backup, which is the extra 2 and 2 that I got, which is 4 boys. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, like I hope that made sense to everyone at home.
I think more or less it does. Yeah, it's non-traditional in the sense that like.
So what you would probably end up doing is you would go like maybe 1 easy pass, go run that 39 pass. You have to run 39 to get a score at 41, unless you run 41, which that's a ballsy move. Like no one's probably going to really realistic do that. And you would just go out and run the 39. And yeah, so that tournament is just insane because one, there's that concept of like a different format. Number 2 is we all camp and there's a big bonfire every night and we've got a bunch of dealers that come in, not drug dealers.
Well, that's not confirmed.
Like ski board dealers and everything, like all the pro shops. So they all come in and yeah, we all sit around the campfire, crack a couple beers and, you know.
A lot of people. So a
lot of like
industry people.
As much as like a lot of people, like it's not like thousands. Like you're talking like maybe 100, 150 people on the bank at that night, but there's like 50 or 60 of you staying on site for like 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Everyone's camping. Everyone's having a good time around the fire every night. We're all kind of hanging out. We go take people skiing and wakeboarding. Like last year, we loaded up like 10 people into the ski boat. We went out with like Massey and Tyler and just like started hitting double ups. I was hitting them on my trick ski and stuff, like trying to throw huge tricks. They're out wakeboarding behind it, doing just like insane stuff for a pro star and like a ski boat kind of thing. Yeah. And yeah, like just such a cool concept.
So when is that event?
We normally do it like in August.
Okay.
Yeah. It's at Radar Lake. It's in Seattle. It's in the middle of the mountains. Just beautiful, man.
I've seen pictures. Those look unreal. So speaking of contests, you're someone that strikes me as someone who doesn't take life too seriously. So how do you balance, wanting to win at contests while also keeping skiing fun in your life?
It's hard. It is hard. Especially sometimes you kind of like resent skiing. Like, I mean, at least for me, like sometimes I resent skiing because it becomes not fun. Sometimes you just have to train and you don't want to, but you just have to train, which I'd say like not this month, but last month when like Moonball was on and everything, it's so hard for me to train when I know I'm not going to that tournament that I love. And like, I'm just training right now for in like 3 months time, basically. Like I'm not training for like next week. I'm training for in 3 months time. So for me, it's just trying to find that balance of like not being too hard on yourself if you have a bad set and going out and just having sets where you're like, I don't need to be better today. I just need to ski. Like I just got to have some fun, do my thing, enjoy it. And yeah, like it's a constant battle of like happiness and progression. But I do find when I'm happiest, I progress the most. So I try and prioritize happiness over skiing these days.
That makes sense though. I feel like, and sometimes it's kind of how you're feeling that day. If you're not feeling like you're gonna, shoot through the stars and get a PB or whatever you guys call it, like you just go and have fun, get some turns down. Like same with wakeboarding. I feel like no matter, or any sport, it doesn't really matter. Like just what your mindset is that day. Yeah. Just make sure you're doing it.
Like you don't always have to go out to try and like break a world record. You can just go out and just ski to ski, which actually, so like at the end of last year, I had the World Championships. I had an insane up and down tournament. Like I kind of was the front runner to win. Anyway, long story short, I ended up coming second. And it just like killed me, man. Like, it really tore me apart because I put so much into that year. I had an undefeated season as an overall athlete. Like, I won every single tournament. I almost won every round. I lost like one round of that season, like prelims, finals, all the overall tournaments, everything. And then I lose the Worlds, and it was just like the world's biggest dagger because I put so much into it. And afterwards, like, I just didn't even want to ski. Like, I hate it. I like couldn't even think of anything worse than putting a ski on. And then I went out to New Zealand. I did a coaching camp, and I'm just like coaching a bunch of these young kids, and just like they had so much like joy and happiness just for being on the water and just for skiing. And like, I'm sure they were pumped that they were skiing with me kind of thing, but they were just happy to be out there skiing and being there. They weren't really too bothered about getting better. I was like, that right there is what it's about. Like a little reset. And then all of a sudden I kind of wanted to ski again. And I was doing like stupid sets, just playing around on the ski, having some fun, no pressure on like trying to trick well or like even do a trick run. Like, I'm just literally fooling around on a trick ski, 10 kids in the boat, just showing them what fun on a trick ski looks like.
Yeah.
Because they had been doing that to me a week, like just showing me what fun looked like. And like gave me that spark again. And since then, been pretty in love with it.
All right, been chilling since then. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. I think it's time for a segment called Deserve Some Love, and that's presented by Driftline. Mm-hmm. So Driftline makes wetsuit line board shorts. I got a pair right here. I've been rocking them all the time. They got a wetsuit liner inside of them. So for when the water's not super warm or those spring, fall sets, throw those guys on. Or even if you want just a little added protection to the family jewels. I rock these shorts, huge fan. If you want to get a pair, hit the link in the show notes. You get 15% off with code GRAB15. But the point of the segment is to kind of give love to either someone in water skiing or in your life that maybe didn't get the love they deserve. So it could have been a water skier that, maybe didn't get the sponsors and had to stop or whatever it was. Like somebody in your life you've seen or a coach or something that maybe hasn't gotten the love they deserved.
Conley Panett. So Conley Panett is he's one of my best friends. And as a junior, he's still a really good jumper, but as a junior, like he beat me in juniors at the Worlds. He like broke a record and everything, set the Canadian jump record, insane jumper. And then at the next Masters, I'd broken my shoulder, so I didn't get to go. I'm watching on my phone, and he took a dirty crash, man. Like he crashed and he broke his foot. And that was kind of like the beginning for him of like injuries, which he had always been like a super healthy kid. He was kind of small. And then, over the years, he's like a big unit of a tank now, but he's blown out his ankles. He's blown out his knees. Like he's gone through so many injuries, and it's jump. It's not a trick injury. It's not a slalom injury. It's a jump injury where when you get injured jumping, it's because you crashed. And that is so hard to overcome. And he is someone who like, he didn't come from like a rich family. He's got 4 siblings. They all come and ski with us. We got one of his little brothers skiing at the house right now. One of his other brothers was staying with us as well, like a week ago. Such an amazing family, but that kid has just like kept his head down, kept working. Like injuries that most people probably would have gone like, maybe this isn't for me. Kid puts the skis back on, gets going again. We had a tournament last year in practice. He took a fucking dirty crash, man. Like really battered himself up. He was black and blue. Like foot was just looking mangled kind of thing. And then the next day he goes out, skis in the tournament and goes like 200 foot. Like, and the winning jump that tournament was like 210 or 212 foot.
So close.
So like really like went for it. And it is so hard to do that. It is so hard to put the skis back on and go again when it's just happened. And now you're in a tournament. You're not just going over to see how it feels. You're trying to go far. And I feel like he just never has been able to get his break. And like he's someone where I think if he had a sponsor that would fund him, he works through the winter. So if he had a sponsor that would fund him to come down and just like spend a winter here, like his skiing would just go through the roof, and he probably would have been able to skip those injuries, like a handful of them, because he wouldn't be pushed for time. But he's always a bit pushed for time. He doesn't quite have all the resources. Like he's done an amazing job, and his family have done like such a good job of like helping him out in every way possible. But like he needed a sponsor to just say like, here you go, this is your funding. So he's my underdog.
Love that one. Okay. He's still skiing though.
He's still skiing.
We love that.
Yeah,
okay.
He's still skiing. I mean, right now he's kind of like rehabbing a knee. He's trying to like fix that a little bit. He skied the Worlds last year with a busted knee. and carried on through it. And now over the winter, he's just like taking a little bit longer to let it recover. And he'll be back by the summer for sure.
Okay, sick. And how old is he?
Same age as me. So 25. Okay. Well, he'll be 24. He's like a little bit younger.
Okay, sick. Great name. Thanks to Driftline for that. So let's talk signing with Mastercraft.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would say it's kind of a big deal, right? So when did you sign with, this is your first boat sponsor, correct?
Yes.
So when did you sign with them and how did that opportunity come about?
So I first signed with them actually in October. But I have been chasing them down for like 3 or 4 years. I reached out to them and I started just like bombarding them with emails and, you know, going to anyone I knew who was Mastercraft and just like, please put a good word in for me and just doing everything I possibly could to try to get a sponsorship. And they were kind of like, they were my dream because anyone I've like spoke to that's worked with boat companies, everyone who works with Mastercraft has said like, this is the company you want to work for. They've all had only good things to say. And other companies, it's not quite been like that. You know, there's censoring issues and that kind of thing. Like, I'm not going to shit talk another company because like...
Censoring, I mean the athletes can't do
like,
really what they want?
You can't quite do this, you can't do that. And like, I'm not going to be censored. Like, and if you did try, I would mess it up and get fired. So, but like... You know, so it just wouldn't have fit me. But Mastercraft, from like everyone I spoke to, they just kind of fit my kind of vibe and the way I work. And then obviously like just an amazing boat. So that kind of mixture, it was like, that's what I want and that's what I want to get. So I just put everything into that for like 3-4 years.
A lot of behind the scenes work, it sounds like.
Yeah, man. I was putting
knocking on some doors.
Yeah, I was knocking on the doors. And then it was actually at their pro tournament in Orlando. They have one every year, the Mastercraft Pro. And they came up to me and were like, hey, like, we want to make this happen. What's it going to take? What do you want? Let's sit down. Let's figure it out. And then didn't really hear from them for a few weeks. I was like, oh, they've changed their mind. Because I skied good in that tournament, but I didn't, like, win or anything.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't win. Like, I messed up. That's why they're not going to pick me up. Like, I can't believe I did this. And then they called me up, like, a couple weeks before Worlds and were like, let's go get lunch. And
they're working up that contract. That's what they were doing.
Such a good lunch. I got the French dip. It was amazing. Best French dip I've ever had.
Love that. So on kind of a more serious note, though, you still ski and train at Matt Rooney's place, right?
Yeah.
So Rooney?
Yeah, I
and
ski
that's
at
Matt's
still
place, right?
Yeah. So like I'm skiing behind his Nautique, but I get a boat in a couple of weeks. And
oh, you do? Okay. So that's kind
I'm
of
excited for that.
the progress of that is
So just kind of had to wait a little bit to get my own boat, and yeah, we signed in October just because I had the Worlds coming up. And they wanted to sign me before that because obviously I was like, at the time I was the favorite to win, and you know, Worlds happened, didn't win, ended up coming second. But I did have a cool moment in that. I ran 41, and that was like a real bit of a dream come true moment there.
What do you mean by that? Running 41 being a dream come true?
So 41 off is like in slalom. If you run 41 off, that's like essentially the goal.
We're talking all 6 buoys at 41.
All
off.
6 at 41.
Okay.
Like I think 15 or 16 people have ever done it, me now being one of them.
There you go.
And like, yeah, that was the dream to get there one day, and I managed to get there like that day. So,
yeah, on a big stage.
On the big stage. But I messed up in the prelims of trick. I fell like mid trick run.
I think maybe I saw that video, actually.
Yeah, like wiped me out, and that was everyone. I think everyone in the world was like, this kid's done. Like he can't come back from this, but like, you know, we'll see how the other 2 events go because, like, I have a slight advantage in the slalom. I'd say, like, I'm the better slalom skier of the 3 eventers. And, yeah, I had a day. Found something, had a day.
Picked a day to have a day.
No kidding, yeah.
Okay, so what color boat are you getting? I mean...
Blue.
Blue?
Yeah, I'm going blue.
Love it. So you make water skiing look fun, as we were kind of talking about, not taking it too seriously, keeping it relatable. Especially on social media. So is that like a conscious goal of yours to, when you're creating content and posting it for people to see, to still keep things fun, lighthearted? Because I do dabble in the water skiing, and a lot of it is just like someone posting a video from a boat going back and forth. And like, to me, that is, I don't, like, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Scroll.
I scroll. It's like, and I'm going to scroll anyways, no matter what it is, but like, it doesn't leave anything, you know, an impact. Like, I'm not going to follow.
Maybe if they're cute, you're like, oh, I like it. And then you just...
Yeah, so like you create, I mean, a little bit different, definitely different content, right? So is that like a conscious goal of yours to do?
Yeah, like when I think of like when I first started doing it, I was just, I remember looking at social media of the pros at the time and just thinking like, no one's doing this. Like wakeboarders are doing it, surfers are doing it. Why a skiers not doing it? So I just started doing it. And I just filmed what I was doing. I wasn't really doing anything special for the camera. It was just filming it, putting it together, putting it out there. And yeah, I was getting like a lot of love for it. It seemed to be working. And I've always been a playful tricker. Like when I was a young kid, I watched this guy called George Mailing, who like no one would really know who he is, but he just used to play around on a trick ski like no one I'd ever seen. Like till I had seen him, I'd never seen someone go outside the spray of the wake into like the glass, you know?
Yeah.
So seeing him, that like fully inspired me as a kid, and that's just kind of what I used to do and mix it up and do this run and that run. So I was definitely inspired by him. And yeah, just kind of do my own thing, and I like making videos. Like I make all my own stuff. I enjoy editing and doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've always kind of enjoyed it. Like there's videos from when I was like 12 of me just like making some stupid trampoline edit, and like actually when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, like you had some editing skills, but you suck on a trampoline. But yeah, I try to not like go too deep into the Instagram of like making it for everyone else. Like I just do what I want to do.
Yeah, documenting your life basically.
Yeah, like I kind of look at it like a vlog for myself in like 20 years. Like in 20 years, I'm going to look back and kind of get to watch these videos and be like, yeah, like you were having fun.
I was killing it, dude. That was pretty sick.
Yeah, like you're having a good time. And yeah, like I try, like anytime I do something kind of cool, then I'm like, oh, that was like a good little memory. Like I put like little hints for myself in the future too.
Okay.
Like
Easter egg type situation.
In like what the comments will be or whatever it is. Like that kind of is like where my brain was at the time. Most of the time it's like kind of a unique thing. Like no one would get it other than me, but like that's like where my head's at that day.
Okay. Kind of like the chapter of like, this is just kind of.
Yeah. And like I can, like even now, like if I feel like I lose myself a bit, I'll go back deep into where I feel like I hadn't lost myself and find a video or something and sort of just see what I was doing that day and where I was at and go, oh yeah, like that's where my head was at. Like I remember when I made that video.
Yeah.
I remember where my head was at when I did that, like, and helps me kind of get back to that sometimes.
That's really interesting because I think that there's a lot of negatives to social media and people like to talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
But like that's such a positive outlook on like how to live life with social media and like maybe a good balance. Like I've never heard that before. I've never heard people talk about that before where it's like, yeah, I'm documenting my life and these are good moments. Maybe there's bad moments too, but you're still putting them in and it's like.
No, I do think social media is like really unhealthy though.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's good. I've had it where my phone's blowing up. I just stop posting. Like I cut that off immediately. I'll find myself like hooked.
Well, because it can be addicting, dude.
Well, dude, when your phone's going like ding, 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 like there's days where I've gained like 1,000 followers in a day. And like I have a week where I've gained like 5,000. My phone is just going insane. And I'm just like, you know, it's like slot machine running through my eyes.
Exactly, dude.
And when I get a moment like that, I catch myself and I'm like,
That's not the reward center you need to be chasing.
This is not
all
real.
the time.
Like it's not real. Like it doesn't, like it's not real.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, if you're doing it for everyone else, it's like the worst reason ever. So yeah, like there's been times where I find myself like definitely posting to get followers and do all that stuff. And you know, you got to do it a little bit.
Well, it's a balance. It's part of your job.
Yeah. It's part of the job. Like you got to post, like I get that and I have to do it, but I do enjoy doing it. So
yeah,
I try and keep a balance with myself and not let myself get addicted.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that's a good outlook on that. So I want to bring back a segment that I used to do. Took a little little hiatus. It's power rank. So I want you to power rank these 5 water sports. So 1 wakeboarding, 2 slalom, 3 jump, 4 trick skiing, but it's the one where your leg's in the rope. 5 trick skiing, but it's where you hang onto the handle and do flips and shit.
Jump, flips and shit. Wakeboarding, slalom, toes.
Wakeboarding 3, slalom 4. Is that pandering to the crowd?
No, I genuinely love wakeboarding.
Okay.
Like I had a little wakeboard the other day actually behind a ski boat, and just
fun.
playing around. And like, no, I'm like, I really enjoy it. I like watching it. I think it's creative. Slalom is just repetitive.
Yeah.
I enjoy doing it.
I was gonna say slalom seems like it'd be a lot of fun to do.
Yeah, I like doing it. And like, if you run 41, like the best day of my life was running 41.
Yeah.
Like by far the highest high I've ever had. Like it was nothing compared to that feeling.
Yeah.
And like, you know, if you see someone run 41, it is cool. But at the same time, like it's only cool if you know what's going on, you know? And like most of the time, I'm not that bothered watching someone else. Like I don't watch someone else ski and I'm like, oh my God, that was so amazing. I'm like, yeah, he just skied. Whereas on wakeboarding, I've definitely, like when Thomas did a triple.
Yeah, pretty hype.
Pretty hype.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And like Massey winning Masters last year, which I got a cool story about that actually.
Yeah.
So before he competed, we get to the tournament and we're all like, we do that little banquet thing before, not banquet, but like a meeting with all the skiers and the wakeboarders and everyone gets to see each other for the first time kind of thing. And
I think we're good.
we're all good. Yeah, I saw you looking at that.
Well, it was moving, and I was like, "Oh no! If that thing goes down, a lot of stuff's going down."
Just
with
like
it.
chops me in the head and Joel's dead.
I mean, it'd be on camera. It'd go
Yeah.
viral, dude. I'll post it for you on your Instagram.
Get so many views.
So you're at a meeting with. Like,
But yeah, so we're
all
at
the
a meeting
athletes.
and everything, and I bump into Massey, and he's like sipping champagne, man. And he's got this like sick jacket on. Like the guy's got steez, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I get like talking to him for a second, and he's a pretty like loose guy. Like he's pretty relaxed. I feel like, you know, kind of get along with him pretty well in that sense too. And we get talking. I'm like, so how you been riding? Like, you ready for this? You ready to ski, like to ride? And he's like, I'm here to take what's mine. Didn't break eye contact. Didn't laugh. Like he wasn't joking. He meant it. Like deep down, he meant that shit. And like I get chills thinking about it still. Like it was an intense moment kind of thing. And then sure as shit, like he went out in that finals and like, dude, the part for me that was like the best is he lands that final trick. I don't even know what you call it, but he hits double up, goes like spin and then spins back the other way.
Rewind, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. And just like really like caught it at the top, huge grab. And then like as he lands, he just went fucking gorilla mode.
Just claim.
Like claimed it. And then everyone else just like literally, I watched everyone on the dock just lose before they went out. Like as he landed, because he was the first guy out, and he threw the handle before it. He threw the handle because the wake was bad, and he's like, "What the hell's this?" And I'm like, "Oh no!"
Like the double up wasn't.
No. Before he even started his
Oh,
run,
okay.
he threw the handle because the wake wasn't right, and then they brought him back into course. He went out, he did his 2 runs, and then he hit the double up and just put the gauntlet down, man.
Yeah.
But I watched everyone on that dock lose before they even went out. Like he just fucking mentally
Mindset was there.
killed them. And,
Love that.
Yeah, like that was, like that beats toes. That beats slalom.
It does beat the toes thing. Yeah, it's a tough one too.
Yeah.
But what you're talking about, we were talking about style. I don't know a whole lot about water skiing, so I
Yeah.
probably said enough. I don't need to say it anymore. But like, I've seen Marcus Brown.
Yeah.
That guy's got some steez on the slalom ski,
Yeah.
dude. And I know that maybe, like, I don't know good technique, bad technique, but dude, when that guy, or at least maybe some older videos, it just looks so smooth. Like he wasn't even trying. And this is just free skiing, maybe not in the course or whatever, but just
Yeah.
like,
No, like he definitely had some steez and style, but then like, dude, like every handful of years skiing changes. Like we change engines, we change boats, we change ropes, we change skis. Like everything just changes, and then style has to change with it.
yeah.
And yeah, like at the time when he was doing it with his style, like he ended up like really wrecking his back because of his style. He kind of like used like his hips and took a lot of load through his back, and like skiing's kind of changed in that sense. So yeah, like there's definitely like guys that have good style and guys that have bad style. And there's some people you watch and you're just like, screw you, man. Like you look like you suck and you beating me. You're the worst, you know?
You gotta pay the piper though if you're trying to look good.
And then you get someone else and you're like, wow, like they are technically perfect, and you beat them every time.
Yeah.
And yeah, like style is definitely a thing, but at the end of the day, like style is important. You have to have good style to do certain things, but your style is like very up. Like everyone skis different.
Yeah. And that it like, in a sense, it doesn't matter either because these are like competitions. So like, unless you're filming a video or something, yeah, style is good.
Style
but,
doesn't
like,
matter, yeah.
Get around the damn buoys. That's
It's
all you gotta do, right?
get around them and go. And that's like those guys that don't have the good style, they understand that.
Yeah.
They understand, I just got to get around that one, and then I got to get around that one, and then I got to just do that like 2 more times, and I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, like at the end of the day, there's just like a few little fundamental things, and if you just do those, everything else you can do however you want.
Interesting. Okay. I got a random question about the buoy thing.
Yeah.
So how do you know when someone maybe doesn't make it around a buoy completely? What's the situation like that with the reffing?
So they got a camera, and they like follow the skier, but then like every now and then they will miss the skier, and the skier might or might not go around the buoy, and no one really knows. And then in that situation, you're meant to give a...
somebody knows. The skier knows, right?
No.
Really?
Yes, but no.
I had a bold assumption that was wrong.
Well, you might be looking down and then you can see, but a lot of the time you're trying to like look to the next one. So like I've had moments where I've gone around boys I didn't think I went around, and I've had moments where I didn't go around boys that I did think I went around. It happens. Like it's so hard. It's so quick.
Yeah.
It just flies past you, and you're trying to be over there. Like the time you're at that buoy, like you're trying to be at the next one. Like it's
You're
so
always,
fast
like
paced.
chess, like one head.
And yeah, like there's been moments in skiing where like the camera's missed the skier, and it's been like a big ruckus and just like caused absolute chaos in the ski industry, and like the whole entire world falls apart for a second and everyone's freaking out. Some people on this side, some people are on that side. But yeah, normally there's a camera, and like you're not allowed to do frame by frame, I don't believe. You have to watch it at speed. So you can kind of trick the judges as well, which some guys do. I've always been pretty big on if I didn't go around it and I see that I didn't go around it, I will tell them. Yeah. Like, I don't want...
You don't want to win like that or move on like that, right? Yeah.
No. Like, yeah. Like, it wouldn't sit right. But then again, I've only ever been in that situation a handful of times, and, like...
Yeah.
If you do want to be like that, I got nothing against it. Like, go ahead. It's just not how I want to ski.
I mean, I kind of got something against it. If you go around damn buoy, go around damn buoy. That's what, you know what I mean? So, like...
But I'm not worried about them.
But the frame-by-frame thing is, like, that would slow the whole sport down even way more. Is that why they do that?
If you could do the frame-by-frame, then, well, it would slow it down. But, yeah, I mean, dude, like, we're talking frame-by-frame. You could just pause it and see.
I just mean, like, would they look at way more buoys if they were doing frame-by-frame, like, on a regular basis? Like, after every pass?
To be fair, though, like, it normally is pretty easy to see.
Okay.
Like, you can... Because there's a ski. Like, and the ski's a color. It's never normally red. The boy's big, luminous red, and you can see, like, you either went around and it stayed red, or, like, it stopped staying red and you saw black, and that's the ski, you know? They might be able to do frame by frame. I don't know, man. I just do what I do and let them figure it out.
Just go around the buoys, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it's talking about controversies. What's the best water ski meme page?
Yeah, so we had this one called Waterskier Rag, and they were posting some crazy stuff. Like, we had some issues with, like, one of the pro skiers. Like, he was just doing some stuff he probably shouldn't have been doing. Supposedly, no one really knows. And they were just going all in on him about it. And then they were going all in at, like, a couple of the boat companies, and all in at some of the street, like, whoever it was. If it ever comes out who it was, like, their life would be done as a water skier.
You're out of the industry, bud.
Like, you are out. Like, they rub so many people the wrong way.
But it had to be someone that kind of knew what was going on, right?
It had to be. Like, I still have no clue who it actually is. Like, I have my superstitions of who I think it could be, but then, like, you never know. You never know. You know? So I think it could have been maybe a little, like, syndicate of people, like a little...
See, but that's harder to keep a secret if you've got a group.
Yeah.
Unless if it's a tight-knit group.
That's what I think.
And I'm looking at one of them, then, like, maybe that...
Yeah. But then, like... Yeah, just the stuff they were posting, like, it was in the water ski world, it was a whole thing. And then eventually, supposedly, one of the skiers, like, parents kind of, like, got in contact and, like, threatened to sue the company or sue them. And, like, because, I mean, like, they were really stirring the pot. Like,
I guess I haven't looked at the page, so I'm not going to make any comments.
Yeah, like, some of the stuff they were posting was, like...
A little too far? Over the line? Right on the line?
Yeah, like, they were really playing. It was definitely over the line kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, if you found out who it was, you would kind of be like, dude, you shouldn't have posted that. But because it was anonymous, they weren't crossing a line.
Okay, that's, yeah.
And they were speaking what everyone else was thinking in a lot of ways. Like, it was so agreeable. But it was also, like, really throwing the whole world against, like, a couple industry or, like, a couple people in the industry and, like, brands and stuff. So that was not so good. But, yeah, I did enjoy it.
We've gone dormant since, or the page has gone dormant. Yeah, they've gone,
like, dead. Every now and then, they'll just, like, out of nowhere, they'll post something, and it will just, like, the whole world's like, ah!
See, I know sometimes it's over the line, but man, it's fun when everybody is talking.
When it's over the line, that's when it's funny. Like, I mean,
you can go so far over the line that it's
Yeah.
not over the line, but if you're like kind of stepping in the mid territory where you're
Yeah.
not like, is it serious? Is it not?
when that's what they were doing,
Okay.
and is they were crossing the line, but then they were crossing it with like kind of facts, and then kind of not facts. So then you didn't really know what was real and what wasn't real, and then a lot of people take it as actual news, and
That's a tough one.
yeah.
We've had some wakeboard meme pages come into some new ones come in, and they're there's a little some spice that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just leave it at that. I got a goat question. So we had greatest of all time on the LF'n wheel questions, but it didn't land on there. But I still want to ask it. Who's the greatest? And I guess I don't know if I like slalom skier, water. I guess I'll just say water skier,
Yep.
male and female. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
In my eyes, it's Freddy Krueger.
Okay.
In my eyes, it's him. And I'm sure like other people will say like Andy Mapple, or there's a handful of people that you can kind of put in that mix. But to me, it's got to be Freddy Krueger, just for the fact that like where he started off in the sport, they were still on the tiny like 78-inch jump skis kind of thing. I could be wrong. They might have even been like 72s. Like they were on tiny jump skis. Yeah. And the outboard engine boat, skiing in like god awful conditions, and like just figuring out how jump works. And he used to be a pro wakeboarder as well. I think he went to a Moomba as well and competed. I don't know if he won, but I know he was like pretty darn good at wakeboarding too. Yeah,
dude. Damn. All right.
Yeah, it's worth getting him on. He's a really smart guy and he's pretty funny. He's got a good sense of humor. But yeah, like as like where he started off in the sport and where he took it to, and like the evolution he had with Mastercraft and like even jump skis, and like how he helped evolve the sport, that was huge. And then as well in the sense that like he's a giver in terms of helping. Like he'll always, you see a tournament getting put on, like a jump event, he's helping. He's not just standing there like laying down, like he's helping, he's doing his part, he understands that. He's giving back to the community. I know, like, for me, he was, like, I don't really know him that well. I was more interested in another guy called Ryan Dodd when I was younger. I mean, Freddie was always, like, Freddy Krueger, which was amazing. But I'd met Ryan Dodd, so I liked Ryan Dodd. And then, like, as I kind of got to know everyone in the ski scene, I realized, like, damn, this Freddie guy is actually, like, a genuine dude, too. Like, as much as he's an insane jumper and he's got the titles and everything, like, as a human being, he's just... like you wouldn't even know he was a professional jump skier. You wouldn't even know that he was like the greatest jump skier of all time or anything like that. So yeah, to me, it's got to be Freddy Krueger because he managed to help the sport, give back.
Yeah,
he has influenced pretty much every jump skier in the world that currently exists. He's motivated so many people, and that's what being a GOAT is about, really, isn't it? Like it's not about just winning. It's a legacy.
It's a personal like. What you think a GOAT is could be different than what somebody else thinks a GOAT is. So like that's interesting to hear your thoughts on it, because I feel like a lot of people could go someone who does all three disciplines that like maybe wasn't the best at each, but was really good overall, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's interesting to hear.
So like in that sense, you would say Jarrett Llewellyn, which so Dorian Llewellyn is like one of my biggest competitions. It's his dad.
Okay.
He was that, and like kind of like one of the first guys to be like a pro on like all three levels. He wasn't quite there as a slalom skier. He was definitely behind, but he was like an insane jump skier, like world record holder, jump skier. He had the ski fly record before Freddie did. He went 299 feet.
Oh, that's got it. Yeah. I mean, that's awesome. It's crazy.
Awesome, but like 1 foot shy. That's going to kill, man. And yeah, like it's definitely worth mentioning him. Like he was pretty cool.
And female?
Still is.
What you got?
Female, like honestly, it's hard to not say Regina. Just like with what she's been able to accomplish in like slalom, trick, jump, like being really good on all fronts. Like she's definitely a slalomer at heart first, but like, yeah, to me it's hard. But that's my lifetime. I don't really know my history. So
I don't know. When I was on Ball Spray, I saw somebody say that Regina was the GOAT. So that's kind of my take now.
Yeah.
Now that I heard you say it and was on Ball Spray, I mean,
yeah. I mean,
I don't really know.
She's pretty undefeatable. She's pretty insanely good.
Yeah, so she's
even
unreal.
still, and like
she's still going, right?
Still whooping ass.
Yeah,
just
sick,
crushing it.
Love that. Good answers. Let's go. If you and Brooks went out for a drink,
yep,
and you went drink for drink, who would tap out first?
Oh, me.
You would?
I wouldn't tap out. I would just pass out.
Tap up, pass
I
out.
just, like I got a limit. Well, I hope I pass out because sometimes I don't. And then people start telling me stories I don't remember.
That's not good.
The guy up here passed out. The body didn't.
The lights are on, but nobody saw him. That's
Yeah,
what's going on.
but there's a party going on too, and the guy's doing some crazy shit. And you're just like, stop telling me the story, man. I don't want to know.
I got a couple other rapid fire ones here.
Yeah.
You trick ski goofy, water ski left foot forward.
Yeah.
Did I get that right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's bizarre to me. So did you, what do you mean why? That'd be like me, I guess. I'm
Did
goofy.
people not ride both feet in wakeboarding?
People ride both, but you have a dominant. Like, you are goofy or you're regular. Like,
Yeah.
you are one or the other.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it's definitely a unique thing. Like, I don't really know of anyone else that actually does that, especially on like a pro level.
Yeah.
But I'm like really dyslexic. And as a kid, I just didn't know my left and right. So that story I was telling you earlier of when I like was a wakeboarder, I never really knew what foot forward I was. I was definitely left foot forward, but I would ride on a cable every now and then, and I would go right foot forward because it was easy for the corners and everything, and all the features seemed to be set up for right foot forward. So I just like never could figure out what foot forward I was. In slalom, I didn't know my left and right, so I was like always putting the wrong foot in. I did that for years, and eventually someone was like, wait, you were on the other foot last set, no? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know, man. I'm like 8. I don't care. I
You
just wanna
tell me,
ski.
man.
Like, is this why it's harder this set? And then like sometimes I would switch in the middle of my set because I would realize and no one else did. And I'm like, oh, I did the wrong foot. I better switch before I get told off, you know? And then when it came around to like, so I eventually ended up left foot forward in slalom. And most people slalom first. So I was slaloming and then I started tricking right foot forward. And like I was saying, I would always go on the cable. I just like kind of learned to trick on the cable a bit by myself. Like I didn't really have anyone like majorly teaching me how to do it. I just put a ski on and started going around. And right foot forward, hillside edge, it's just easier. So that's just what I did because I was left to my own devices at like 8.
I mean, it sounds like it kind of worked out though.
And
to be honest.
well, yeah, my theory is like when you're tricking, you spend like 80% of the time backwards. So my left foot is forward. So when I'm forwards, which is way easier to ride forwards than backwards, right? It's, you know, I had to learn to ride forwards. But once I started going backwards, it's like, oh, this is left foot forward. This is easy. I got this. And like I'm backwards till like I land my third trick. And then I'm forwards for like one trick. And then my next trick, I land backwards again. And then I'm back forwards. So I'm just super comfortable being backwards. And that made the most sense.
Interesting.
And then I think because of it, it's helped out my jump. Because jump, you're cutting from the right side to the left, so all your weight is on your right leg. And obviously I got good balance with my right leg from skiing on my right foot. But toes was a total beach.
Toes is the one where your foot's in the rope, right? And you're
Yeah, so
spinning
toes
around.
when your foot's in the rope, like learning to spin around and stand on my right leg, like I sucked. Like I'm a good toe tricker now, but like originally it was so hard. I was not good at it. And like it was just grinding to learn that balance. And it paid off because I can do it now.
Yeah.
But definitely left foot forward.
Would you say this left foot forward, right foot forward thing has helped your dirt bike riding capabilities? Are you pretty good at riding a dirt bike?
Do you hear about that one then?
You know, I haven't heard all too much, but
No, it has not. I have a bad success rate with bikes and dirt bikes. I just, you know, the thing that sucks is I'm actually not that bad on a bike. I just think I'm better than I am, and I always end up screwing myself
well,
up.
that's not what you want to be on a bike. You could do that on a lot of things, but
Yeah.
a dirt bike, man, you know, you're
Yeah.
gonna get yourself in trouble quick.
So the story behind that, I was riding a dirt bike at Herb's Cup because at Radar Lake, they have like these little dirt tracks around the back of the lake, and they got some jumps. They got 3 jumps. The first one's kind of small. The second one's like a bigger medium size. And then the third one's like a bigger jump. Like not huge by any standards, but by my standards, it was like small, medium, large. And I'd been going big on the first, big on the second, clearing it. And then on the third, I'd been bailing out because you land and then you turn left. Well, I'm getting pretty geared up. I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting pretty comfortable on this bike. And then everyone's like, hey, we're going to head back. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to do one more. Famous last words. And I come around, I send it off jump 1. I go even bigger off jump 2 than I've ever gone because I'm trying to keep some speed, and I just went, screw it, and I sent it into jump 3. I didn't make the decision to send it into jump 3 until I landed jump 2. Send it, I'm flying through the air, I'm screaming, I'm going, woohoo! My buddy Jamie's behind me watching, he saw me take off. And then as I came down to land, I land perfect, and I pull the brake, but you don't pull a brake on a dirt bike. You press it with your foot. When you pull a brake, you pull the front brake. And it's a left turn. So I landed getting ready to turn left, and the bike just went. And the only thing I'm wearing is a helmet, board shorts, some shoes, and just like not even a hoodie, like just like a long sleeve sweater kind of thing. And just took it straight to the face and the collarbone. Like my legs didn't even touch the ground. I just slid along my head. Like just like my head and my left shoulder just like ugh. And my buddy comes over the third jump with a bit of speed, and then he sees me on the floor and he's like, what the hell happened? Like, you were in the air, you look fine. And like,
just grabbed a handful of front brake.
Yeah. So, well, then I had to ski Herb's Cup that afternoon, and my collarbone like was screwed up. Like all my shoulder is like, I cannot lift my arm up. It's killing me. So I like pop a few of the pills, drink like 5 or 6 beers, and just like crush them to just get rid of some pain. And I came second. So
there you go.
Yeah. But then off the back of that, I had to go to a pro tournament, and I finished that event. It was on like Friday night. We finished that event, and I have a pro tournament on Saturday in Calgary. So I have to go from Seattle to Calgary, but there's no direct flights. I have to go through Toronto. So I fly to Toronto. I sleep in the airport for like 3 or 4 hours, but there was no chairs that had like...
They all had the handles in the middle or
Yeah,
whatever?
they all had the handles in the
armrest,
middle.
yeah.
So I'm just like in between, like I had like my legs in between one of the handles, just like sleeping all crooked and stuff. My shoulder's killing me. I wake up and like the booze have worn off and the painkillers have worn off, and I didn't think about bringing any more. And I get to tournament. I get some pills when I get there, but I've got skiing in like 40 minutes. Like it literally was like that close that I land, got off, someone picked me up, they drove me to the tournament, and like it was like, go ski. It was only prelims, but I ended up like just like my shoulder's absolutely killing me. I'm like taping it. I'm just like, I probably shouldn't be drinking beers at a pro tournament. So I didn't drink any beers, but I'm
Fair
like
enough.
taking as many painkillers as I can and like trying to get everything out of me. And yeah, like
How'd it go?
I won.
I mean, between that and then the, grabbing somebody else's ski for a tournament,
I live for that shit.
you kind of just, it's right up your alley.
I live for that shit. Like, a part of me was going, you know what? Skiing Herb's Cup, sleeping in the airport, and then going to that tournament is going to make me ski better. Like, that's the most rock star shit I can think of. Like, you just went, and I was drinking at the event. Like, by the time I finished skiing, I got to have a few beers, sit around the bonfire for the bit, and then go. And I figured I'd already had a couple, so I'll just keep going. And, like, not a great idea. Wouldn't suggest it.
But I mean, you don't plan those things out; they just happen. And when they happen, you roll with the punches.
And it was just like, you know what? Like, this is what we're doing. We're gonna go with it, and we're gonna go all in. So I'm just go for it, and yeah, worked out.
Hammer down, baby.
Yeah.
I love it. So let's talk a little bit of the future. So we're talking tournaments. What's this like? What's the season look like for you? How many tournaments you going to, and what's coming up?
I think I'm between like 16 to 20, depending on if I like do all of them. But yeah, like looking at my calendar right now.
Pretty full.
Yeah, like I think right now I have like 15 that I'm pretty much guaranteed to do. 7 or 8 of them are like back to back. I got my first tournament in 2 weeks, and then I don't have a break for like 2 months.
Back to back, we're meaning weekend.
Weekend.
Yeah.
And then like I get like a small little break. My buddy's got a bachelor party, and then like in the middle of the week in Europe, he's in Canada, so I'm having a bachelor party in Canada. That finishes on Sunday. On Monday, I fly, land at a tournament, and ski Tuesday, Wednesday. And they got another tournament Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I'm gonna have to like clock back into that rockstar shit.
I was gonna say that's kind of you're setting yourself up.
I might as well
for
just
one of
start
these
drinking and crash a bike, you know?
yeah, we'll see what happens. So we got another Patreon question from Cole Van Hoff, and he's wondering: are any plans on filming a trick ski freestyle part? Those nose butters hit different.
You know, I think if I was gonna do like a full film, I would want to do like all three. Like
All three disciplines,
like slalom, trick, and jump.
Yeah.
And I would want to do like a little bit more of like kind of, film with a few of my buddies kind of thing, but like, kind of what it's like to be a water skier, because those films don't exist. And I think it's kind of sad about that. And I've definitely, like, I've searched a little bit to try get a bit of funding, but like it's just a struggle. Like, I mean, it's expensive to kind of get someone to follow you around and film all of this, and cameras are expensive. So I get it. I get why it costs as much as it does, but like, yeah, it would be really cool to get that.
Yeah.
And like, I don't think like it would be cool to do one, obviously, like selfishly about like me and kind of where I'm at for my future, to be able to look back on it. Like what I was saying of those like mini future vlogs, to be able to look back. But more so, like I would want to do one with like my crew, my friends, and like the people around me that I like hanging out with. Like I would like to set one up like that, and just, I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I think that'd be super sick. Because I haven't watched a ton of water skiing, like videos, but Brooks and his brother, I feel like used to do some like freestyle.
Yeah, they used
a lot
to
of them at the boarding school maybe. But.
Yeah, the Wilson Bros. Brooks was like running that place for a little while. He was the coach
Okay.
before he like took over at Radar. And they did some really cool stuff. But like it was short YouTube videos, like, not like I want to do like a full film.
Yeah, full thing.
That would be cool.
That would be sick. Definitely. Yeah, because in water skiing, is there like movies and videos that are being made?
Yeah, like the Waterskier Broadcasting Company. So Vince, the guy that runs it, he's done a couple. But it's been like about the worlds, or he's done like a short segment on one person. We haven't done like an art of water skiing.
Okay.
And like to me, that's what's missing is like this one guy, Igor, did it about jump skiing, and he did a really good job, but it was like 30 minutes. And like I think it was like an amazing concept, but we needed to do more than just jump skiing. Like we need to do the sport, because it's like we're all together in this. And like he missed that whole buddy part. Like he did this jump skier and this jump skier and this jump skier and this jump skier, and this is how their life is. And like no one to me has done a good job of like all my friends are in this sport.
The community, the best part about it.
The community.
Yeah.
And like everywhere I go around the world, the only place I ever pay rent is in Orlando. Everywhere else, like I got a buddy who's got a house and he doesn't mind if I sleep on his couch and ski at his lake here. And like, like I go to Chile every year for like a month, and that family, the first time I went out there, I'd never met them. I did not know them. I knew the like oldest daughter, like we were friends. We skied against each other, or not against each other, but like we had skied in tournaments and stuff. And like I'd say we were like kind of buddies, but not like friends kind of at that point. And yeah, like hey, I want to come to Chile. Can I come stay with you guys? And they were like, yeah, sure. Come stay with us. Come ski at our lake. Come along.
Damn. Oh, yeah, because like the traveling and all the stuff that used to happen in the 90s and early 2000s and stuff is still happening, right? There's still athletes doing all this stuff. Crazy memories still happening.
Dude, that's the thing I love about this sport. And like, I love water skiing, don't get me wrong. And I love competing, but I like the lifestyle and the freedom. And I get to travel all around the world and stay with people all over. Like when I go to New Zealand, the person I'm staying with there, he was my coach when I was like, before John, I was skiing at a different place that had a cable. And I skied there for like maybe a year. I was like 8 or 9. And I skied with him for like a year. And like 15 years later, I'm like now going out to New Zealand to go live with him for like 2-3 weeks. And he just takes me in like I'm part of the family. And yeah, like that's so all over the world.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I love that. And that's definitely not unique to water sports, but it is cool about water sports. A lot of people stay in it forever.
Yeah, well, you hear it like,
sport.
I was listening to a Kelly Slater podcast of him talking about in his younger days and literally doing the exact same thing, like bumming around, sleeping on someone's couch, had a buddy here who had a car that he could borrow, and like it's all the exact same thing. We're all doing it in, the water sports, and I'm sure like a lot of sports. And I feel like in water skiing though, like I'm sure wakeboarding too, like we have a special community that's like most people in this sport are like pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like there's not many people in this sport that are like selfish, terrible people.
And well, they stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah,
real
like
quick,
you see him and you go like, oh, stay away from him. But like most people in this sport are like pretty cool.
Yeah, totally agree. So, I mean, you kind of hit on it there, but like what gets you stoked on water skiing right now?
Yeah, like honestly, like when I'm having the most fun, it's like I'm hanging out with a few of my buddies, having some fun with my friends. I definitely do love to compete. Like that fire of emotions and like a tornado flying around inside of you. Like some people feel a bit sick. I definitely have moments where I feel a bit sick, but I do love that feeling of like you faced fear in the eye. Like I had it today actually jumping. I had a jump set and on the dock I got deja vu. I was like, oh shit. And then right before I went out, I got deja vu again. And I'm like, oh shit.
It's kind of like a break in the matrix, yeah.
Like, what the fuck's going on? Why did I just get deja vu twice? And then I start freaking out, and the wind's swirling around, and like when it's windy and swirly for jump, like it kind of is scary, and I just like got overcome with fear, man. And normally in that situation, like where I've had fear like overcome me like that, I'm like a passenger to it, and it's hard to get out of that because like you can really screw yourself up jumping. And like today was one of the first days that I was able to just like stare that fear dead in the eye and be like, you're not winning. Put my skis on, went and jumped, had a good set, didn't jump with fear, was terrified inside, but like didn't show it. My coach had no idea. Yeah. And that was a really like fulfilling moment to me. It's like facing a challenge.
Yeah.
So yeah, between challenges and friends.
Love that.
My two favorites.
It's a good balance, dude. Yeah. It's a good balance to have. So before we wrap this up, is there anybody you want to thank before we wrap this thing up here?
I do want to give a big thank you to two people. Number one is my coach, Matt, because I mean, like I said, he's the one that gave me that call up and said, come and move to Florida. And yeah, I've been thinking about that a lot actually in like the last couple of weeks of like, I don't know where my life would have gone if he hadn't have taken me under his wing before that moment in coaching me as a kid, but then especially in that moment when he said, move here, like I don't know where I would have ended up or what I would have been doing at this point. So he's one. And then the second guy is my physio, Jason. He tacked me. I'm like, all like cupped up right now. I look like I've had sex with an octopus, but yeah, like I've been working a fair bit with him recently, and like, dude, it's been working. So yeah,
he's been getting you sorted out.
Yeah, and I saw him just before I came here, so I'm like extra thankful because I can move my neck.
There you go. Perfect. All right, love it. Well, thanks for coming on. It means a lot. It's stoked to talk to a water skier. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to rate 5 stars on all the platforms and like, comment, subscribe if you guys are digging the podcast.
Do the thumbs up.
Yeah, do the thumbs up. Hit that. Yeah, or the notification bell too on YouTube. Yeah. I think that's it. Yeah. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. See you guys next time.